Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode, another edition of OnTrack with DJ Tracktion. We don't have our co-host, Mr. Fox Jackson, here today. He is a little under the weather, so we hope he feels better. He's drinking some ginger, honey, lemon, mint tea, so he should be back at it pretty soon. I'd say that's a good combo right there. We do have a guest though, which is awesome, so I don't have to talk by myself. We have comedian Steve Marden with us today.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
We kind of go back from, again, the Ray Longo training days.
Yes.
Basically.
Those were the fun days.
Pretty much, I can almost trace back the majority of people I know, either from that gym or from one of my restaurant jobs.
Really?
It's like 6 degrees of separation. Even people that are like not directly related to it. Again, it's like the 6 steps.
Right.
So there are people that I know that I'm like real cool with. I'm like, oh, how do I know that person? Then I can trace it back. Oh, they know this person who like worked over here, who knew this person who I knew from this restaurant or knew from the gym.
What
or
restaurant
like
did
that.
you work at?
Red Lobster.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a throwback restaurant.
Yeah.
That's like a 1980s. That shit was popping. Red Lobster was the shit.
That was it was the first restaurant job I had, probably around 2004.
Really?
I think it was.
What'd you do?
The server.
Server? You were in charge of keeping the...
You know,
Did
being a waiter.
Red Lobster have that big, like, in the... I never went because we couldn't afford Red Lobster growing up, so it was like, no lobster. You get Taco Bell. That was it. That was the extent.
The Popeyes, that was the seafood.
Yeah. You go get some popcorn shrimp.
Or Long John Silver's.
Yeah, that's a maybe. That was even a maybe. Like, fish? We'll get a dried up, crusty hamburger.
It's like, our seafood was the fish sandwich from McDonald's.
But like the throw in the microwave kind.
Fish sticks.
Yeah,
those things are disgusting. I used to eat them all the time as a kid.
Did you?
And like, I don't know at what age that I had it again, and I was like, these are utterly disgusting. Why does anybody eat these?
Fish sticks? Yeah, you had to douse it in the sauce.
In something. I remember I used mad ketchup.
Did you?
Yeah.
You just broke it open and it was all that white and it'd be steamy, really hot. Because I ate it out of a microwave, so it'd just be like super fucking hot.
That probably had something to do with it. Eating anything out of the microwave kind of sucks.
Yeah, and
there's nothing cooks well in there.
And the meat is kind of like it's different kind of. It's really white. It's not like chicken white. It's
like
bright white.
Exactly. If you think about like chicken nuggets and stuff, these are not gourmet fish sticks, so they were probably God knows what kind of fish and what parts and what and what combination of different fishes they use for that shit.
But Red Lobster is that was banging back in the day.
Yo, they got some good dishes. Not gonna lie, you know.
How long did you work there?
It was on and off. I worked there for about 2 years when I first started, and then I started working at a law office because this is around college days and stuff like that.
You're like, fuck fish, bro. I'm going to fucking...
Yeah, I was like, the hell with this.
I want the law. Fight for people's rights.
But then when I started going to school in the city for audio engineering and stuff, I couldn't work at the law office also. I couldn't work out hours, so I actually went back, and I was there for another, I don't know, however many years. Yeah. And then I moved out of state.
Where did you go? Hold on, let me guess. Texas.
Texas, no, not that far.
Alabama.
To Ohio.
Some fucked up. Oh, okay, that's like fifth.
Equally fucked up, just about.
Ohio. Hot women in Ohio, though. I bet. Around the colleges. Ohio State has.
I guess. Yeah, I wasn't by any. We weren't near the colleges. The closest one was, I think, Bowling Green, and that was still like considerably far away.
Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all the rejects go. They can't get into Ohio State.
But you know they do all of those like kind of like Midwestern like. Especially the college cities and stuff, they get down because there are tons of fucking kids there.
Right.
You know, and they have those big ass parties where it's like bonfire parties and shit like that.
Yeah, that'd be
out
fun.
In the fields and stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I guess those are cool. And then when I came back, I ended up back at the restaurant and shit. And then I left again. So I've been doing it's like 2 years tours. Right. It's like every 2 years I quit.
Yeah.
And do something else. And then I'm like, all right, I'll come back and do this again.
That's cool, man. But yeah, we met at Longo's, man. That's right. That was a while back.
Yeah.
Like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. I think because I came back in 2008.
Oh yeah.
So that's 6 years, and I pretty much went there almost right away because I started training a little in Ohio before I left.
Yeah.
And it was like caveman training.
Was it?
It was like because the house I lived at was the backyard was a cornfield.
Right.
You know, it was big ass fields and shit. We were kind of on a little, not like on a hill, but the backyard had a pretty steep incline and stuff. There was a barn area there. And so, no joke, I did stuff like, we had thrown out an old stove, so I took the bottom drawer, and I filled it with mad rocks. Like big ass rocks and shit, and had like toe straps, and just rigged something up and carried it around the fucking backyard, up and down the hill and shit.
Dude, that's out of control. That is like your training is equivalent to like me not being able to eat at Red Lobster.
yeah, it was poor man training. That's what it was.
My fish sticks were your workout regimen.
It was like Rocky in Russia training. That's what it was. Just outside.
That works though.
Yeah,
that works.
It definitely got me back into some type of.
Well, when did you fight? That's when we met. That's when I remember when you fought at the Capitale. When was that? 09, 10?
It had to be at least 2009, probably going close to 2010.
Late 09 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. You know what? I think that's the first flyer up over there. Let me see what that says. Make sure it's the first one. This is from September 10th, 2010. And if I can find my name... Right. I know who the first guy was.
Oh, yeah. Frank fought right there. Okay.
Yep, it's Eddie. Oh, no, this was my second fight.
Second, right? Okay.
Technically my third card. So my first one was probably in 2009. Because my second fight was with the first kid. First kid I fought, no offense, was both our first fight, but I beat the shit out of that kid. Like, I think I knocked him down in every round and shit.
Right.
Like, just ran over him. And,
is that the one you lost that fight?
No, I won that one.
You did?
Yeah, ran over him.
Okay.
And he actually called me out to fight again.
Really?
For the second fight. He was like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not even like it was a close fight.
That's how guys get when they lose. They're like, I want to fight again.
I guess.
Just move on to the next guy.
Yeah,
why do you gotta like, no, you can't. I can't be beat by you.
I need to fight him again.
I gotta redeem.
Like, yeah, but it wasn't close. It was a split decision. I could see it.
Right.
You know? Which is what happened in my actual second fight. So I was scheduled to fight this kid again anyway, the kid I fought first. And at the fight, or the day before, like, he got hurt. Like, hurt his leg. I heard he fell downstairs or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The old fall down the stairs.
Yeah,
That's happened to Jurassi's opponent back in, when they went to Tropicana, I think.
So that didn't go down, and then that flyer was actually from my third fight, and that was a split decision that unfortunately I lost. I felt, in all honesty, it was a draw, because I did get knocked down the first round.
Right.
It was crazy. I didn't even see that kick coming. I thought it was a
I
punch,
remember that
too.
fight.
I thought it was a punch.
That's the fight I remember then. I remember that fight.
Kicked me in the head.
I just remember thinking, I was like, this is a tough kid, man. To fight through that was hard. I give you...
Well, that's the thing.
You got my instantaneous respect from that. I was like, wow, that's fucking tough as nails.
Well, I can tell you, this is what I honestly remember from that fight. So, I had him in the corner, landed a few combos, and when I was coming out, my hand was just dropped a little, and he just came right out of the corner with a kick. I didn't even know it was a kick. I went down. I got right back up, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I thought it was a hook. I thought it was a left hook.
Right.
I found out later it was it was a left switch kick, right to the head. And I remember the ref, like, he's going through the count. He gets to 8. He's like, "You ready?" And in my head, I'm like, no. I probably shouldn't be going back out there. But it was just automatic. So when he was like, "You good?" I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Nice.
I was like, "Let's go." And I definitely remember thinking I won the second and third round.
Yeah, I thought so too, man. Yes. That's why I thought it was. I remember that fight. It stuck out of me. I was like, "What a great fucking fight!"
In my head,
those are the fights that you want to watch. Like, guys getting
going
pummeled
at it,
in like one or losing and then come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
So I thought
you won that fight too, man.
So I honestly thought, I'm like, all right, this should be a draw. See, he gets a 10-8 round, and I get 2 10-9 rounds. They're only 3 rounds. So that would be a draw.
I don't even know if it's a 10-8 round with a knockdown. Nah, you need like 2 knockdowns.
But I know how the judges go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he won that round.
Yeah, but it's gonna be 10-8 with the knockdown. That's just the way it goes. You know?
Not always.
Not always.
Dude. Not one knockdown.
I
Two
guess.
2 knockdowns. Yeah, you could do it.
I don't know.
And a bunch of pummeling. Yeah.
I feel like I had accepted that if they give him a 10-8, I can't be mad.
All right.
That's what I accepted, you know? But, so that's why I'm like a draw. So that's when he won on a split decision. I was so mad, yo. Because I'm like, he definitely didn't win the second and third round.
Right.
And the one judge actually gave me all three rounds. Still had me winning that first round. That was the only shot he landed was the one that knocked me down.
Right.
I still had basically done more...
Right. Work.
Maybe not more damage, but way more work and more lands, and I hit him more in the first round. So...
Let's get his ass out. We'll call him out. Where you at, motherfucker? What's your name? Find this fucker's name right now. We're gonna call him out right now on the radio.
It's Mike something. I don't know what his last name was.
Where you at in here? Oh, Matt Berloff fought too that day.
G-
Michael Gioni. from Impact MA Academy. Michael Giannone. I hate these fucking names.
Well, you know what I got to say about that, though? I talked to the kid afterwards because apparently he got the DVD of the whole night.
Did he?
And I was like, yo, make me a copy or whatever. I'll buy a copy, whatever it is. Like, let me get a copy of that. I want to see the fight. And he kind of BS'd around that. Like, oh, I don't know how to rip it, this and that, or whatever. And I'm, like, walking him through it because I kind of know how to do that shit. He
didn't want you to have that. He didn't want you to see that.
I got a real crappy version of it. It wasn't even watchable.
Really?
And, we talked here and there. He was a cool kid and stuff. And he was like, yo, that was the hardest fight I ever been in, this and that and everything. Like, no doubt, whatever. And Ray had come to me. He's like, yo, like, Lou Neglia,
Right.
he's like, wants to make that fight again.
Right.
He like, wants you two to fight again. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I don't know if I hit him up and said that or whatever, or if it got back, if it just went through the managers and Ray came back. He's like, oh, he doesn't want to do it because you guys are like cool now.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, whoa. Because he said hey, his actual words like, oh, you guys are friends now or something. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we talk, we could be cool. Right. But that dude's not my friend. I was like, no, I want to fight him again.
Ass, fuck him now. I'm calling him, I'm texting him right now. Fuck you, I hate your mother.
See, but that's a fight where a rematch makes sense. It was a very close fight. Could win either way,
Right.
They should fight again. That first one is like, dude, it was almost a TKO. Like, why are you...
Right.
Why you be like, no, I need to fight him again,
Yeah, well...
But it's whatever.
When people win, sometimes they feel that they won and they got out, like they stole one, they don't want to fight again. So they'll, people know. You know inside your heart what you did or how you felt, and they feel like, wow, I stuck that victory out. Or if you won, you feel like, dude, I can fucking beat this guy again. You'd be like, fuck yeah, fight him again, fine. You want it really that bad? Like, you sure?
Yeah, that's why the first one, I'm like, oh, he wants to fight me again. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't even think I have to go through a training camp. Like, I'm actually just being a dick. Like, just making a joke, but... I was like, all right.
Which on the other end, you have to be careful because then you can get the Mike Tyson syndrome.
Yeah, you don't want to get overconfident.
Donuts and then fucking you get knocked out by Buster Douglas. You're just like, I ain't got to fucking train.
You got to take everything seriously without a doubt. Because, like the fight we're just talking about, you can just take that one kick or that one hit where you're like, you just drop your guard for a split second. You're in the wrong place, wrong time.
And if a guy loses, he's gonna dream and eat and sleep your face. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Trying to want to kill you.
They're like, I'm not gonna let that shit happen again.
Yeah, they're gonna get hungry. So
you got to train. I would make the case that you should train even harder for a rematch in where you had won the first one.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna be going up against a way more determined guy.
Unless he just totally sucks.
I mean, there's always that. I mean,
he just really sucks.
Yeah, if the talent level is that far. That far like removed and stuff? If it's that much of a gap,
then you just kick your feet.
It almost doesn't matter. Yeah. But again, it just takes that split second, so you got to be on top of it. Yeah.
Unless he's fat,
eating donuts and shit. That's usually not a problem in my weight class.
No, that's
I'm not getting any fat opponents.
No, definitely not. Unless they're midgets.
Yeah. So one of the things that was that's real cool. What I like what you're doing is you're doing stand-up comedy. And you were like trying to start. It's hard to start. I guess you can say that with any type of business or anything that you're trying to start by yourself. But I find it, especially in creative endeavors, it's almost twice as hard. If you're just trying to start a hardware shop or whatever, I feel like you make the argument that that's going to be way easier to start because
gotta get some shelves to hold my nuts and bolts and my hammers.
But traditionally. Like, you can go to a bank and be like, all right, listen, I've been a contractor for 20 years, or whatever it is, whatever qualifications you have, or, like, listen, I have an MBA from fucking Harvard or something, I can run a business, da-da-da-da. You can go there, and you can be able to maybe get a loan to start it out, or you can go to investors, this and that. Whenever it's something creative, it's almost all on your own shoulders.
It is. You can't go to the bank and get a loan. Be like, I want to start stand-up comedy. Can I have $50,000? Because I'm going to stay home. And now just write
jokes. That's all I'm going to do.
I need pens. I need paper.
It's like getting an advance from a record label. That's what it would be.
Yeah. I need college-ruled paper because I need that. I need highlighters to highlight my punchlines. I need these things.
I think that's what kills a lot of creative-minded individuals. It's like, all right, they got to do some type of work to pay rent and then still find the time to do what they're creative in. And not even just find the time, but also the energy.
But that's what separates, you know what it is? That's what separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. You know what I mean? It really does because you have to work extra hard at it and it's so hard. So if you got it like even doing DJ, like comedy, I got to go to work, pay my bills from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and then I got to run into the city until midnight. From 4 o'clock till midnight, run around hitting open mics, paying out of my pocket. It's like going to school. You know, I'm investing in myself. And whether it's art, right, or if it's music, I see a lot of musicians that are out playing music, hanging out for 8 hours, hitting different, venues to play and hone their craft. Same with comedians. And now, it's very, it's hard work, man.
It's a tough grind. It's a tough grind.
No
But I always, like I said, when we spoke with all our other guests, really, I always put it out there. I really admire anyone that does that. And anyone that try to put in whatever effort it is to make their own lane. You know? And it's usually in something creative. Because like I said, that just happens to be the hardest one to break through. Because it's just almost all on your shoulders. It's a direct correlation to your effort is what you're going to get out of it.
Entertainment is like one of those things. You don't get paid for so long, and then when guys make it, they're like, oh, he was an overnight success. How did he just blow up overnight? And they're like, dude, you didn't see the fucking 10 years
and years.
12-hour days of, just eating shit all day long. You know what I mean?
And that's another thing. What I really love about comedians is I always think that putting yourself in positions, like, I'll be honest, like when I started the podcast, I really don't want to do it by myself because it's like, man, it's just, you got to pick up the slack. Everything is riding on what you're doing and stuff.
Right.
And you got to keep the momentum going. At least having a co-host or somebody to play off of obviously helps that, right? But I think putting yourself into difficult situations purposely is a big character builder, And like sometimes the only way to get through to know if you can handle certain things is you have to go through it. You can't just think
like
about
getting
it.
Kicked in the head. You don't know. Like, can I get kicked in the head and keep fighting? Like,
unfortunately, the only way to find out is when there's like 1,000 people watching you get kicked in the head.
And get yourself kicked in the head. So if you're out there and you don't know if you can go through something, let your girlfriend kick you right in the head right now. Just boom. Let's see if you can fucking handle adversity. You know what I mean?
But that's one of the things with comedians is like the number one fear of people is public speaking. More people fear that than dying.
Which is so funny because I was always, I guess the class clown or whatnot, but I'm also sober. I'm sober 6 years. And wasted my 20s doing drugs, alcohol, and barstool dreams. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be a fighter. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. All these things I wanted to do. I'm being an actor. I didn't go to fucking one acting audition, not one headshot, not fucking anything. I didn't even look in the back of like.
I didn't even see where they were having them.
I didn't even check anything. I didn't even nothing. But I want to be an actor. I get high on cocaine and be like, I'm gonna fucking let's do it.
That's what actors do, don't they?
Hell
so I'm already halfway there.
I got that part down fucking pat, dude. The partying part, no problem. And the talking shit part, but it's like I never did any of that. So when I got sober and I started to realize who the fuck I am. I'm like, these are the things I want to do, and I tried multiple things. And I got into MMA and training, and I was like, this is fun because fighting is a raw, that's hard too.
A primal thing, without a doubt.
It is primal. That's a fear.
And even
That's a fear.
That fear of confrontation and everything, and even just.
And then I went to public. Then I went to. Eventually it evolved to something that I always wanted to do as a kid, and it just surfaced. You can't, if you're really open and you're trying to be water, my friend, like Bruce Lee, you really, and meditate on it and really get, inside yourself, you can find what your dreams are, what they really were, and it became that it was comedy and getting into that world. Yep. And it's scary. I thought I peed my leg the first time I was on stage. I literally thought I fucking had urine trickling down my penis or out of my asshole. I had no idea what was
some liquid.
Out. I had to like pat my pant leg. I was like, is this the urine? I gotta get out of here. And it was all like young kids, and I'm in my 30s.
People think you're touching yourself on stage.
I was last. I was like, I'm fucking running. Inside my mind was, get the fuck out of here. Just leave.
Just leave.
Come to the next one. Dude, I'm a 260-pound man who sparred some fucking tough dudes in rings and shit, you know what I mean? And just like, and got over that fear of getting punched in the face, when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And then like, oh man, all these kids and little girls and like just hee. And I'm like, just fucking leave. What are you doing? And I got on stage and it was crazy. I didn't get any laughs. I got one laugh at the very end of like 2 minutes. It was just me in 2 minutes, and then I got one laugh, and I'm like, yeah.
And you know how long nobody knows how long a minute is until you're either on stage by yourself or if you're in a ring.
Correct. That is fucking... Dude, that is a great analogy. You're right. They are the same.
Yep. Those are the longest minutes of your life.
Yeah.
When you're doing a 3-minute kickboxing round or boxing round, or if you're on stage for 2-3 minutes,
correct,
and it's not going your way, holy shit,
if
that's
it's going your
time.
way, it's fast. You're like, holy shit, that was 27 minutes. But when it's going bad, you're like, a minute is fucking forever.
Yeah.
But or if you're just lost and you're like, I was lost. I don't know how long it was. It felt like 10 minutes. But I was having a good time. That's how delusional I was. I'm like, yeah, Judy Carter Bible book. Anybody want to be my writing buddy? It's funny, right? Like, I was just rambling. I got one laugh, and then I left there, and I was like, high like a little kid that just opened a fucking Transformers gift, under the tree in the 90s. I was just like, this is great.
Oh, they're making a comeback.
Yeah,
now it'd be like opening the PS3 game or PS4
the
game.
wallpaper on your wall is making a comeback.
Listen, let's not talk about that. This isn't video. Nobody knows.
I am tripping my balls out right now. Let's just say that I am fucking tripping.
This is the one reason why I don't do video, actually.
No, this is the reason you fucking do it.
Well,
this is great.
I think when we start putting up YouTube videos of these, it's just going to be the audio, but when we have guests, we're just going to take pictures with this as the backdrop.
You can't even find this. This is classic
this
shit. If you go to Williamsburg right now, you could get 27 Williamsburg people to just rent here right now. Airbnb for all Williamsburg hipsters. You would make a killing. You make $30,000 a month here. Just be like, yeah, I'm going to rent. You could rent out just space on your floor. And they'll come here and just hang out and sleep here, dude. It's amazing.
That's a great idea.
Since
nobody knows what we're talking about, I warn everybody before they come in here, because this is a bedroom in my grandmother's house that actually was my mom's room when she was growing up. She was born in 55. Maybe I shouldn't be putting her age out there like that.
Oh, you're in trouble now,
It's
dude.
whatever. I'm 31, so what the hell? She has to be at least 45 if she was like a really lost kid. You know what I'm saying?
She had you at a good age.
I'm saying at least that if she's really lost. So
she had you at 14. That's even worse if it was the case.
So no, what this room was designed literally in the 70s or late 60s, and it looks exactly like that. It is crazy wallpaper. It's crazy colors.
It's wavy and it's orange with a little red and some shiny in it. It's really cool. I like it.
All like different shades of purple, orange. There's like metallic reflective parts in it. It looks kind of alien-ish, but lava-ish, but spidery.
Yeah, no, it looks like a scary pumpkin.
Yeah.
So now maybe it's Halloween, but I'm like, scary pumpkin melting into a volcano.
It's really out there. And it used to be worse because it had an orange shag carpet to match. Now it's just regular gray, which tones it down a little.
Yeah, they got to bring those days back. I hope they come back.
Everything's cyclical. A lot of even just in fashion stuff, like you see, just things make a way back.
But home decorating needs to be, home decorating is in general. Color, clothes. I mean, home decorating needs to just. This is like, come on, this is a period. This is a period. Probably like 2030. It'll come back.
Maybe. I don't know.
People are just like, fuck.
I guess in homes you don't see it as much.
No, that's what I mean. Like, that was the greatest period probably ever of home decorating. They just said, fuck it. We went nuts. They were like, get all the colors.
Well, I think it was because all the acid and LSD and weed and all that shit.
But it wasn't even just like, I'm sure your grandma wasn't tripping on acid, or maybe she was.
No, I don't
you don't even know.
I'm
she
pretty
didn't even
positive.
tell you. See, that's
I'm pretty
the thing.
positive.
You don't think so? Well, their decorators were.
Well, no, because she didn't do this. My mom actually did this.
Mom.
She did the rest of the house though, so you saw some of the stuff.
Well, that's what she was. Trippy,
she was a clothes designer. She was a fashion designer. That's what she did.
See, but that's what I'm saying. So she was influenced by all the people tripping. There was enough people tripping on acid that it just had to. The mainstream non-trippers were affected by it and went with it. They're like, "Fuck it, this is crazy. This is cool. We need more acid.
I buy that.
We need more acid in this country."
Yeah, well, I'm kind of an advocate of just legalizing or at least decriminalizing a lot of different types of drugs.
Weed for sure.
Without a doubt. Only because there's not one solid argument or proof that it's, first of all, harmful.
Right.
I don't see why it can't be treated just like alcohol is in this country.
I'm for weed. I'm sober, but I'm for weed. Doesn't
mean,
because I can't do something responsibly or whatever. I'm still for weed.
But I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed to.
Coke and crack, heroin should be out. Meth, coke, crack, for me, should be really just out. I am against that because that's I've seen too much pain.
Yeah,
and what does it really do for you?
I can agree with those. I'm doing a lot of kind of reading and research on psychedelics, though, like from
psychedelics. I'm cool with
even from LSD to mushrooms, that ayahuasca and stuff, DMT, even MDMA, ecstasy and stuff. Although not really a psychedelic.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff coming out about using it for treating PTSD victims.
Certain stuff like that, I would say highly controlled under a doctor's supervision or something like that, or definitely more controlled. You have to go into I tripped a lot. I did a lot of acid shrooms back in the day, like too much. I think I did a little too much. I went maybe 3 trips too many to where it did affect me like physically and mentally permanently for the rest of my life. Which that is where I would say you got to be careful because it was dirty acid running around.
Well, that's the thing.
So
now
I might have took a few dirty white, just like, what the fuck paper is this? Looks like notebook paper. I'm like, yeah, all right, we'll eat it. And then you're like, that wasn't very good.
Well, that's the problem with all these things being illegal is that the biggest danger in it is not getting the real stuff.
Real stuff, clean stuff, but you also can't do too much. Because even if you have really great shit, it can fuck with you.
Yeah.
If you go too far with it. Like anything.
Mm-hmm.
You sit
in
and
moderation.
smoke a pound of weed a day, you're just going to be like, you're going to be out of it.
Well, that's actually, if I remember correctly, the, maybe I could be off, but whatever, I don't even remember the term they use, but they have a term that measures how much of a certain drug would take to kill you,
right?
Like what you would have to do in it,
right?
And like marijuana is something like you'd have to smoke like 1.5 pounds in a day for it to actually kill you.
I think even more, like 1.5 pounds in an hour. It's something impossible to do that you just can't do it.
It definitely, whatever the number was, I'm butchering it.
Yeah,
but it was literally impossible to do.
Yeah,
like you're never going to be able to do it.
Which is cool, but it doesn't, just because it doesn't kill you doesn't mean
to overdose. That's what it was, to overdose on it.
Yeah, or to even both. But it still can fuck you, dull you out, where you don't want to get out of bed.
Well, and there's certain kinds too. Like, so I think it's the sativa kind, which is more like, let's go do something while we're high. And then there's the indica, which is more, I just don't want to do anything.
Right.
And again, I might have those confused, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
They got different strains and all that say it does it, which to me is a bunch of bullshit, though, too. It's like, this is purple rose. This makes you very, very happy. This will make you, be a better mechanic on your car. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a body high. You'll feel it in your toes, and it's great for your feet. I'm like, dude, all right, enough for that. It's like either a body high or it's energetic or not. Like, how many can you really specify the weed? That's like wine connoisseurs. They're like, they get a little too carried away with tasting wine. You ever hear them? They're like, this is the great rose, bittery, yet palatable on my tongue, warm in the belly. You're like, shut the fuck up. Is it good or is it not good? Does it do the trick?
Hints of rosemary in here.
Yeah. I want to smack them. I mean, it's like, all right, you're really ripping apart the fucking wine.
They can tell like how old the oak barrels were that it sat in just by smelling it.
It's like, just a slight aftertaste on this wine. The cork didn't hold the flavor. You're like, shut the fuck up.
So I actually want to ask you, we were talking about before when you talk about like getting clean and everything, and just trying to find, I guess, your path and what you wanted to do in life. You kind of mentioned the word meditate on it. Was it actual like meditation?
Yeah, I love meditation, man. I think meditation is highly important. Getting quiet with yourself, finding a nice, and getting reflective, inner reflection and all that. I'm not like a guru meditator. I don't even know if it's a word, but I think I get quiet and I try to, I also pray to power of my own, God of my own understanding. I did enough acid to where I was like, all right, I'm just going to make my own God. Before any of like the 12-step programs tell you find a higher power and all that, I think they were tripping too. They were all fucking people throughout the times made these things and they found stuff that worked.
Well, and all the people usually in those programs and that started them were former addicts. So they
former addicts and just throughout times. This is all, I mean, the programs of today, not to get away from it, but they all got whittled down from the history. History's always been doing stuff, and they're like, you know what, we don't need to be the Bible. We could just, the meditation works. This is cool. And you don't have to be like, because then you start fighting over gods, and what the fuck, I tripped.
Well,
I'm not fighting over gods.
I mean, that's what our current war
it's
that we're involved in now is pretty much about.
They all need to drop acid. If we just dropped acid all in the Middle East, war over. Palestine and fucking the Jews are going to just be friends. They're going to be like, dude, what the fuck were we thinking?
What have we been doing?
Or however they do it in their language. They're going to be like, you know what I mean? They're going to rip fucking that headgear off. If they're women, they're going to be like, what? this is stupid. Because when the first time I tripped, I was like just sitting back and watching fucking, it was like a meditation for real, but it was an eye-opening experience of like realization of what the ego, of really what it is saying like, everybody at this party in high school, this is all bullshit. You're fake. You're lying. You're just trying to sleep with him. You're trying to be popular. I was like, this is all fucking one big game. You know what I'm saying? And meditation now for me is to get inside to find out my truth. You know?
Exactly. I'm starting to get into it a little. I have a problem with consistency in really anything I start trying to do because like my days are just so all over the place. I think I would benefit from like a set schedule of things, but nothing I do is that. From DJ to even shitty, man. That's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah, you edit minute 30.
Yeah, but I don't try not to do that. So
yeah, you don't.
I have the answering machine in my room, which is whack.
You just got a call from a bill collector from Victoria's Secrets. That was weird. You owe us $100,000.
Listen, I gotta keep the bitches happy. All right.
They just mail your prospective women some underwear. Like, hey,
listen.
This is what you get when you're with me.
I can say shit like that because my girlfriend doesn't listen to this, so it's all.
She doesn't. She's gonna listen to this episode.
This will be the one. Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "What? You're mailing panties to girls?"
I had already told her on a previous one where we mentioned her, and I had said that it's cool. She doesn't listen to this shit. I told her that anyway. Right. I was like, oh, I mentioned you today.
She didn't listen still.
And she still hasn't listened.
What a supportive girlfriend.
You know what?
She's so supportive.
You know what?
That's
really
nice.
though, she actually is.
Is
and
she?
like in the stuff that I do and stuff. So she's really great on all that, but
she just doesn't want to hear you more than she has to.
Pretty much is what I think.
She's like, I hear this guy enough.
It's like, yeah, I always listen to him talk. I don't need to do that like on my own time. And she's just not a podcast person anyway. She'd rather listen to like Pandora and music and stuff.
Right.
So I mean, I'm cool with that. That doesn't bother me.
Break up with her, bro. Just just fucking end it.
Bitch, you don't want to listen to me 24/7? What is wrong with you?
You will listen to me in the car, at work, on your lunch break. How dare you? I'm fucking over this. I can't marry you. So yeah, meditation, dude. It's hard. That thing, people devote their whole lives to it. People knock themselves like, oh, I don't meditate enough. Like, dude, just try. I do it in the shower. It's a great place to do it. When the water's running over, I breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, stuff like that.
I do just kind of practice controlled breathing, like 4-step breathing, breathe in for a 4 count, hold it out.
And if you just do that, you can free the mind up from all the clutter that's going on in there. We're always thinking like, oh, tomorrow, the bills, things I got to do. How am I going to do this? We project a lot. We worry. Those are the things that take away from the now. There's so many books out there of people that work on it and they give their own experience on it and they write on it. Joe Rogan's huge on it. He's one of the people I love the most. He's into hallucinogenics, also sensory deprivation, which I want to get into.
I've actually
I want to do that. That's
definitely
really
because of his podcast. It was something I tried. There's a spot out in Suffolk. So
Is there one in Suffolk?
Might be a little far for you. I'm gonna shout him out because I went there and the guy's mad cool. Thomas Wunk from the Float Place.
Really?
Is I believe.
Did you have a good experience?
Of his thing. Let me just double check.
I know there's a guy in the city. It's in his apartment. I've heard good things about it.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about him as well. Yep. I know someone who went there. Actually, a mutual friend of ours.
It's clean, no funny business. I heard all good on the up and up. You call, make an appointment, no problem.
Yeah, and it's in his apartment, and this is the same thing. This guy in Suffolk, it's in his house, but he redid. I mean, it's official though, because he redid the whole basement. So it's a nice room. Yeah. It's just the tank. There's a shower in there. He provides earplugs, towels.
I gotta do this.
Even he'll make you a cup of tea when you're done.
Really? Makes me some Earl Grey? That's awesome. I'm in to do it. Listen, any way that I can, I want to try to live this life to the fullest, man. You know what I mean? Oh, that's fucking nice. That's a big blue tank and this babe with steps going up. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, it's called the Float Place. So if you go to thefloatplace.com.
I gotta write that down.
It's in Suffolk on Long Island.
How much was it?
Real good dude. I don't want to put the price out there because I don't remember. I want to say it was $60 for an hour.
Wow, don't tell people.
But yeah, exactly. I'm not. It's definitely on his site.
Did you do an hour?
So, it's 90 minutes is $90.
Dude, I'm doing it. I'm going next week.
60 minute was $65. And there are different packages. So
I'm gonna do 90 minutes. I didn't know it was in Suffolk, dude. This is making my whole life. You know how happy I am. I just fucking came in my pants right now.
If you buy certain packages, that price comes down. So if you're willing to pay 100 something, 200, 300 something up front,
Yeah,
the per minute price will go down like anything else.
No, I'm in. I'm going next week. You have no idea.
Yeah, no,
I want to do it for a long time. I hope I get the full. It looked like an official tank.
Oh, it's good.
So you felt
it's
weightless
good.
and
now,
the whole thing.
The only thing I would say is, yeah, you definitely, the feeling is cool, and it takes a lot. The first time you're in it, I've only been able to do it once.
Right.
I really do want to go back, but again, it's just finding that fucking time to do it, and then sometimes it's the funds as well.
Sure. Definitely.
I would like, it's something I would definitely look into, like, when I get my own house and everything, to put it in. Get one in the basement to have, because it would be awesome.
You know, it's because I can't do, like I said, I crossed the line with hallucinogenics. Like, I've had actual flashbacks that were real. Like, I actually saw shit. Like, it was like sprinkly silver stuff, and then another time gold stuff.
You mean this wallpaper?
So, certain things, not like it rained. Like, it was raining if somebody, like, threw confetti in the air, and it was all coming around, and it was literally, like, as real as it can be. Like, it was as real as my pants look, and it's freaked me the fuck out. And it was years later.
Thankfully, you're wearing real pants, so that's good.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know. This fucking world is fake, bro. It's like the Matrix. But this now I feel like I can do, and it's healthy. It's going inside. Because there's enough chemicals in the brain, dude, that I can go, if you tap into it right, you could be
essentially
crazy places.
What DMT is something that your brain produces anyway.
Correct.
When you take it, you're just taking a bunch more of it, basically.
Correct.
And so
why not find a way to unleash it, naturally or without any chemicals, outside chemicals?
What really turned me on to it is not only, like, we both said the Joe Rogan podcast is one of my favorite ones because he talks about pretty much everything, and he's just pretty open and honest about it for the most part, from what I could tell. But he had on Amber Lyons, who was a CNN reporter.
Right.
And she had fallen out with them. She was like, yo, this is bullshit. She did some report, and they, like, totally butchered it and stuff.
Right.
And she's like, what the fuck is this? Obviously, you're receiving money from the people I'm reporting about, and that's why you're changing this whole thing. So that's what her thing was. And apparently, she'd gotten into, like, some real deep depression and stuff.
Really?
And I don't know if Joe had mentioned something about ayahuasca or whatever, but he didn't tell her to go do it, but she just decided to go do it. Like, went down to the Amazon and everything and did it, like, for real. And now starts a whole, she has a whole website that's dedicated to pretty much the education on hallucinogenics. It's called reset.me.
Nice.
And there's a lot of stuff in there. And she has a cool section about other, like, well-known people that are pretty much advocates or say positive things about different hallucinations and, like, psychedelic drugs, basically, and how helpful they can be. And I think we're really doing a disservice in this country with the war on drugs and how black and white, no pun intended it is, but how just, like, zero tolerance it is. So when these certain drugs are illegal and are in different scheduled categories, you can't even do research on them.
No.
So that's doing a huge disservice to pretty much the world. You know?
Well, the world is out there doing it all. They're way ahead in certain areas. Are you kidding? They're way, way ahead in crime, drugs. I mean, not to get into the economics of drugs, but it's a huge... pathway for money in this country. Arresting people, putting them in jail, creates jobs. So they don't fix it. You know what I mean? How many times I've been arrested? You know how many COs I kept in business, correction officers and police officers I kept in business.
You know what? That's a big thing of it.
Yeah.
Those are that's one of the lobbies that want to keep, like, marijuana illegal.
Of course, the economic infrastructure for drugs in this country and jails, it's not going anywhere. It's billions of dollars.
And you have for-profit prisons. How ridiculous does that even sound? You can open a prison that you need people in it, and you receive money for it, and it's for profit.
If that continues, there's going to be a civil war in this country. It's going to be anarchy. It's going to be a problem. It really will, because where does it end?
It's nuts when you look at, and then you look at the statistics of, there are more white people use drugs than black people, but black people make up like 80% of the prison population in whatever states and stuff. I'm just throwing a number out there, but it's a lot. That's not an official number, so don't hold me to it.
Yeah,
but
you can Google it if you want the real number. Yeah, just Google it.
It's disparaging numbers. Like, there are obvious, like, flaws in it.
Which back in the day, now you can't argue, you can't say shit. You got to be careful. You've caught on. I can't argue anymore. I used to just win any debate and argument by being a little louder or a little taller and just be like, it's the Navajo tribe. And they're like, really? I guess it's not the Sioux tribe? I'm like, it's Navajo. I know it's Navajo.
I got this,
Trust me, I read it back in 1985 in the book. I know about it. I was there. Right? And they're like, okay. And they're like, it's the Navajo. Now I'd be like, I don't fucking know if it's the Navajo. Because you could just Google something.
It's
you could
hard.
Just Google. You're like, Now it's the soup, bitch. Look, Google.
It's hard to bullshit stuff now with the internet.
You can't.
And especially when everyone has it in their pocket.
30 seconds, you're fact-checked in your shit. You're
Yeah.
like, nope, it was 19... Like a movie, like it came out in 85. I can't be confident in anything I say anymore.
I was just about to say that.
Not even my own shit. I'm like, I was graduated in 96. Like, yeah? Look at this, bitch. You dropped out in 95. I'm like, fuck,
Classmates.com
man.
says otherwise.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I don't even know my own shit, God damn it. Fuck, man.
Totally. I like... It's a double-edged sword because now I like second-guess almost everything I say.
Yeah, I just give up. I'm like, I don't know.
And you
I don't know
it,
anything anymore.
It even makes you not even want to bother remembering statistics because you know you can just figure it out in 2 seconds. It's like you can only remember so much stuff anyway. Like your brain's like a hard drive that only has so much storage. So why am I going to fill it with all these details when I know I can just type 3 words and find it in 30 seconds?
Yeah. It sucks for debates. I used to win. I used to be the smartest man you'll ever know in a group of people. Like, I got this. I know. Now I'm like,
everyone
man.
sees right through me now. Shit.
They're like, shit, the little fucking introverted midget, I can't like win a debate with him now anymore. I can't just be like, shut up, I know. I'm taller than you. I
will
know.
step on you, bitch. I'm right.
I know when Terminator came out. I know what year it was. Not anymore.
Because I was just thinking, I wanted to be like, yeah, there's some country that pretty much totally legalized all drugs, and I wanted to say it's Uruguay.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one it is. Although some of this is saying that they've delayed the sale of marijuana until 2015, so I don't know if that is means it's still legal. I don't know the details of like, oh, it's legal, but can anybody just sell it? Can you go to the store to buy it? And again, it might not even be Uruguay. I'm just looking at the captions for most of these. But there's definitely a South American country that legalized all drugs.
Yeah.
Everything from heroin, like hard stuff, everything. And they haven't had any rise in addictions or crime or any of this stuff. And some have even went down.
Right.
So, again, you kind of have to look at exactly how they're doing it and all the details in it. But
still,
it makes a case that people...
Heroin, though, ruins lives. I know heroin addicts, and there's no benefit for fucking heroin. That's got to go. You want to use the opium in medicines, for pain and shit like that, yes.
But you know what? There are probably better stuff than that, too, because that is what... And we've talked about it before. Even on Long Island is a big heroin problem, and it's directly related to the opiates and not over the counter, but prescription drugs that people have gotten. And now it's easier for them to get heroin than to get another prescription.
100%. All that shit's got to go. They got to put a lockdown on fucking who gets these pain pills because it's just highly addictive. That's got to go. I mean, it's just really got to fucking go. But legalize weed, let them go smoke fucking weed. Maybe people will be like, I ain't fucking shooting heroin or taking those pills. I can smoke weed freely, legally, and easily. So, really, I mean, listen, when I'm president of the United fucking States, heroin and sale of heroin or any of those pills, you're getting fucking 5 years. You know who's going to fucking sell heroin and crack or coke? Nobody. You're getting 5 years, you sell it. First shot, I don't give a fuck, minimum. Weed? Smoke a ton of weed. Now you're going to be like, fuck. I would just raise it up. I'd be like, I would make it such a... And if you fucking get caught buying or using it, you're going to a 1 year minimum inpatient treatment program. That's it.
Well, that's the thing, too. A lot of drug offenders, they send them to prison, which is not going to change or help anything.
I would just 1 year for using it, you're inpatient. Now, you know how much that sucks for using fucking a drug? If you use crack, coke, or heroin, those 3 right there, you get busted for those 3. And meth. Let's throw meth, because those are ones that your fucking face changes, dude. Your face changes.
It falls off.
Your teeth are fucking falling out like Tic Tacs, out of your pocket. It's fucking ridiculous. So meth, crack, they're fucking... I mean, there is a benefit for crack. I can't lie. I like that I can go and buy shit for really cheap. That they steal shit. I like that. There is, I'm a little selfish there. But they're fucking walking zombies, dude. I know people on heroin, it's so sad. They fucking lose weight. They're like just out of it and they're a slave to that fucking drug. I don't want my friends on that, man. I really don't.
Cocaine is the Red Lobster of the drug world.
And cocaine, cocaine is the higher end. Correct. That is true. Cocaine's a little higher end, but even that brought me to my fucking knees, dude. It destroyed. That's what got me to start getting sober when I'm spending my check on cocaine on a fucking $400 in a night. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Just wanting to do 8-ball after 8-ball. The drug dealer's cutting me off. Like, dude, I can't sell you any more fucking cocaine.
That's how you know it's bad. When the drug dealer is like, nah, man.
Yeah.
You need to slow down.
I'm like, you don't even know. I can handle more, dude. He's like, no. I'm like, fuck you. You're an asshole.
It's like, listen. But in a way, like, it sounds crazy, but it's pretty good business. Because, like, listen.
It is good business.
You're a good customer, and if you die tonight, you're not going to be a good customer anymore.
You're not coming back.
So I'm cutting you off. You come back in 2 days, we can start this. I'd rather make that long-term money.
It is. They're smart.
That's smart on his behalf.
It was smart. I remember that. I couldn't believe I got cut off. I had a real good money night, and I was just like, more coke, more coke, more coke, and then I got cut off. I was pretty surprised. I was like, who the fuck cuts? I felt good.
Right?
I felt like I could do more rounds.
Yeah, I'm feeling great right now. What are you talking about?
If I could handle it.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, the heart is just. I'm good. Good. Looking in the mirror like, oh, I'm good. You're good. I'm good.
Yeah, I think.
But those drugs, I would really just raise it. No one would sell drugs anymore. If you did 5 years, fucking right off your first fucking transaction of selling heroin, I doubt you're gonna fucking sell heroin again.
That's like
next one is 10, 5, 10 because I like even numbers. 5, 10, 15.
Like,
that's it.
I was gonna say 5's not really an even number.
Well, it's increments, but it's easy to count, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It's easy to do.
It's like what Chris Rock said about guns and bullets. He's like, guns don't have to be illegal.
Yeah.
Bullets have to be $5,000 each.
Exactly. But he's right.
And less people would die.
Think about that shit. It sounds ludicrous, but he's fucking right.
Innocent bystanders would be a thing of the past.
You'd have one bullet, you'd be like, should I shoot this fucking guy? He only has a knife. I'm like, man, I could take him.
I could hit him with a gun.
Drunk. I think I'm gonna get a bat,
way cheaper.
a stick, a fucking staff, some long pointy thing.
But that's the thing too. When
a bow and arrow.
I don't have the answer for gun control. I'm not gonna say that I do. But you can't legislate anything to stop crazy. You know. So if somebody wants to do some type of harm,
of course,
you're not gonna stop it. Whether 100%. You make it, if you put a 7-day waiting list to get a gun or whatever background checks, this and that, that's fine. Guess what? They'll use a knife. They'll use a bat. They're gonna find something.
Make bombs, gasoline fires. There's so many fucking ways, people. But that's also goes back. Where does the root come from? That's like I was always like, when I was drinking, drugging, and all this, I wanted to blame you for not being a good coworker. I wanted to blame my brothers. I wanted to blame family, the institution, America. You know, they killed the Indians. That's why I'm having problems. You know what I mean? I wanted to blame everything else than what the root was. I had to go to the root and be like, wow, what is the root? And it's not even alcohol and drugs, dude. It's way deeper. That's what people think. Like, I would be like, oh, maybe it's drinking or drugs. I thought it was a million things when it was something inside, deep buried. And all those little demons and shit that we bury from, like, we didn't get hugged as a child. You know what I mean? That shit manifests in other ways, and we medicate through drugs and alcohol. So that's hence the meditation, blue float, you know what I mean? Taking sensory dep or anything we do. Get inside yourself and be like, why? What are my biggest fears? What are my resentments? What do I hold on to, man? And that once I released that, it was like, wow, I'm free now. I could die free man, internally free.
Because you're at peace.
I'm at peace. And I still have to maintain things. I still have to clean it out. It's like your closet.
It's not like it happens one day and you're like, oh, cool, I'm good forever now. You're constantly working at it.
Like I still get garbage in. It's just like cleaning your fucking closet, man. It's like, what's in here? You know, Eminem had a great song about that. Now he doesn't even perform that song anymore.
Yeah.
He actually cleaned all that out. He really cleaned his closet out, or he thought was clean, but it wasn't. It was
but it's
superficially clean in a sense, you know what I mean?
But that was the way that he dealt with it, was like putting it into
he was very angry. He was very
versions.
angry then. You know, he was a very angry and resentful person then. But if you see the transformation for him, because he's also sober now, and I know because I've gone through that process that he's free of all that resentment of his mother, and that's hard shit. That's like you grow up, and if your mother fucking put boiling hot water on you as a baby, how the fuck you gonna live with that? It's gonna be whether you bury it, suppress, repress. You know what I mean? It's there.
And with someone like him being in the public eye, you can see how long of a process that was.
Yeah.
And how stuff just like, becoming like financially independent where you're good for life and your family is good for generations.
Whereas his motivation to change on that aspect, some people's, it's a financial thing where they're like, oh, I'm homeless now. I got to change something. Mine was like I started to become homeless. I was homeless a couple times. So that's starting to be like a wake-up call. You're like, that's your bottom. You know, it's like, this is bad news now. Something's got to change. I can't live like this. This is unacceptable now. I can't. What the fuck's going on? I'm 30 and I'm homeless. This is bad. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll do what I need to do. For him, having all the money and all the success, that's almost even harder. That's harder to change because you got money now. You can just fucking throw money at problems.
But it wasn't working. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can see it with him. Like, I mean,
I'm surprised that.
Think of the Relapse and Recovery album.
Right.
You know, that was having all the money in the world and still trying to medicate through problems and stuff like that.
Right.
It didn't help. You know?
People make fun of, like, oh, they call it a high bottom. Like, you're a high bottom. You didn't lose everything. You didn't do all this. You know what? That's harder for some people. I give those people credit because the motivation behind it. It's, you go throw a guy homeless, you're gonna be like, I fucking hate this. You're gonna scare him, wake him up, you know, put him in jail. You're gonna be like, I'll change.
And when you're in that situation, you're putting all your time and effort into, like, oh, I gotta stay alive today.
Right.
You know? And it's not dealing with any of the real issues or problems that got you to that situation. You're just like, I gotta eat today, I gotta stay alive, right. I gotta try to stay warm or cooler or whatever it is.
But you can be humbled to a point where you'll be receptive to another way. You know, when I was humbled by these situations, you know what I mean? That's half the battle, is staying humble or finding a way to be humble. So when you're fucking got $100 million in the bank and your face is everywhere and people cry at your shows, to be able to put yourself in a humble position to say, I'll do what you did, Josh, to find that inner peace and be teachable. That impresses me when people that famous with that much money can do that. People don't give them enough credit. Like, you were rich, you had it easy. You weren't in a Bowery drunk like me, or I was homeless. Like, I went through it. Like, what the fuck? It's harder that way. Look at Bernie Madoff's kids. What'd they do? They killed themselves. Why'd they kill themselves? They killed themselves because they couldn't go to the fucking country club anymore, dude. Right? Think about that mindset, man. I fucking wouldn't kill myself when I was homeless. These dudes fucking killed themselves because they couldn't go to the country club. That's some fucked up shit. I wouldn't want to live like that.
You know what? And that's the thing, too. Again, talking about Eminem and people like that, it's like they started from that bottom position. Right. So they know how it is on both sides.
Which is better.
If you grow up always having money and something like that, and then it disappears or anything happens that affects that, you react to it totally different.
Like, fuck that, I got no more millions?
You're like, how can I live this way? No, yeah, exactly.
I can't live on the 100,000.
If you kind of grew up in it and stuff, and now you got all that money, and it's like, you know how to deal with it a little more, because like, all right, well, I lived without this, so all the shit disappears. It doesn't matter. I'll get by. You know what I'm saying? You have that mindset. Yeah. It's like, I've done this shit before.
That's why it's nice to earn your success or earn it. You know, that it really is more worthwhile. But yeah, man, that is so legalize fucking weed.
Yeah, I don't. It just sucks when, again, the internet just makes it easy to see things. So you get all this information that can get everywhere. And it's pretty transparent that it's just not a harmful drug. You know, it's very beneficial. Even just like, you know, using hemp as not a psychoactive drug, as a commodity.
You've been hanging out with Lou Kumo. That's why.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Eating life food,
but
wearing hemp hats.
But it's apparently...
Master Lukey, are you listening, Master Lukey? He's a big advocate now of weed. He's all on it, man.
But apparently, I mean, you can use it just as a building tool for almost anything. Yeah. You know?
No, it is.
And it's just weird.
It's fast growing. It is a great resource.
And it's weird how you can, like, import it and use it. Like, you can get hemp protein anywhere.
Right.
But you can't grow it anywhere here.
It's politics, man.
And it's,
people
exactly, and
control,
it's not a drug. You can't smoke it and get high.
No. People want to control their money, man. When you're in a power of money, you can control and you want to keep it. People with fear, you know what I mean? It's a lot of fear-based shit. Because they're afraid of losing their hold and their power and their family's legacy, and like, I got this on lock. Which
you know what?
You know, I might too. I go through fear a lot, so it'd be like, if I have this, I'm gonna be like, well, we got this right here. Let's make sure we protect it from over there. So let's stop. There can be no hemp because we control logging industry.
Yeah, it's like I need Team Cotton to win. You know,
Correct.
That's what the team we're a part of.
Right. So if we're all cotton, we're gonna be like, fuck, dude. If that comes out, we're out of business.
Yeah, we actually have to do something. We have a competitor that could that could fuck with us.
So all we gotta do is talk to our boy up in fucking legal town, and he shuts it down.
Give him this briefcase, this duffel bag, that brown paper bag money.
We just kill his dog and put it in his bed. That's what we fucking do. Fuck the money. Just his head of his dog is right there when he wakes up. He's like, ah!
There was,
Fifel.
I think the movie's called, shit. I want to say it's called The 1%. Again, I'm really bad with details nowadays.
That's alright, because that's just type the weed, right in. That's the weed.
No, I don't even smoke, B.
Then you gotta smoke, son.
It's like, I should just so I can use it as an excuse for my shitty memory.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm like, no, I don't know, because, like, I smoke too much weed, so... It's all good. I'm not supposed to remember this shit. But,
we're getting older, bro. You gotta take ginkgo biloba, bro.
That shit actually, I've heard, doesn't do anything.
No?
Yeah.
Well,
it's like been debunked or something.
Is it?
Again.
Placebo effect.
Fucking Google that shit. I don't know. I could be talking shit.
Dude, they're always debunking and unbunking all kinds of shit. all the time, right? It's always debunked and unbunked.
Man, I wanted to get into something else after. All right, so I'm going to go here first. I want to mention the podcast that you did do, Steve Marden Talk Shit.
Right.
And that you're going to resurrect it in another form, which is good. I'm happy about that.
Thinking about it.
You're going to do it. I know you're going to do it.
Because I like to talk shit.
Exactly. Yes. And I just loved that. I loved that you called it that, too. It was awesome. I enjoyed that. Anyway, and honestly, was one of the reasons that finally got me to start mine.
Right.
You know,
cool.
Just being able to see you do it and really jump into it and be like, yo, I'm going to use this and something that I enjoy doing, and it's going to help in my comedy and everything, and just going for it. I like that. So that's why eventually, like I said, my pilot episode was just me in the fucking car. Just rambling, basically.
And how did it feel? Because it feels like you're not afraid anymore to just say what you want to say.
It's so weird.
You're not nervous or afraid of being judged or whatever.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck it.
Which is so weird because, like, you might say certain stuff that you might not even say while you're talking to your friends. Right? But now that I just have somebody, like, just sitting in a room with me on record that other people are going to eventually hear, almost forces you to be more honest with yourself. You know? It
does, and to be careful, and also, like, I was saying last night, you came, I had a thing about, three-legged dog. I was like, three-legged dogs are creepy. Pet lovers, they were like, fucking asshole! I had somebody call me, like, you should take that down. I was like, all right, I'll fucking take it down.
That's so weird that was what did it.
And then, I was like, fuck that. Now I'm like, I compromised what I wanted to say. I'll fucking say it. Now, do I really, is part of it shtick? You know what I mean? Obviously, of course, I love dogs. But I'm also an entertainer. But three-legged dogs are a little creepy. You gotta admit, they're a little tiny creepy.
No, I totally agree. And I feel like that's not something... If I was gonna actually take the time to call someone and protest and object to something they posted, it certainly wouldn't be about three-legged dogs being creepy. I just wouldn't. If you were the one cutting one leg off dogs and making them three-legged dogs, I'd be like, dude, the fuck are you doing? You need
That's
to.
my thing,
You need to get checked out.
I trap them. I got little bear traps for them. It's amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Then it's a problem. All right. Yeah. So the name of the film actually is called The 1%. And what's interesting about it is that it is done by one of the Johnson & Johnson heirs.
Oh, yeah?
Jamie Johnson.
Okay.
Who is, I guess, I want to say the grandchild of the original Johnson that started the company.
Right.
But it could be a great-grandchild or whatever.
Rich as fuck. Probably.
Rich as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, has that born fuck you money for real.
And born into it.
And born into it.
Trust funds, all that.
Yep. And he really, it's really fascinating because he has that perspective as, like almost like a Bernie Madoff child.
Right.
Has that perspective and really, he just keeps asking why.
Right.
He's like, why? What did we do to get all this money? Why do we have it?
Right.
Why is the gap in what we have and what, the average person have so much?
Right.
Is there anything that we can do really to help that? One of the people that he interviews is also, I want to say it's the grandchild of Warren Buffett.
Right.
And she lives in, just a regular apartment, it looks like. And her being in that film got her cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like he's showing about like retreat meetings with it's just the 1% basically. It's just a whole bunch of rich people that own either corporations, this and that, and all they talk about is how do we just keep all this money.
Yeah. Keep it going.
And he received a lot of backlash from not only his family but family friends, this and that, and he stays pressing his dad to be on it and to ask him certain questions, and his dad just keeps refusing throughout the whole film, right? And he finally gets him in it. And it's fascinating because he's like, Dad, you wanted to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wanted to do this. This is what you wanted to do. Like, now this is what you're doing. And, like, how do you feel about that?
Right.
And he was into that, too. I think he wanted to do stuff that his family was like, why are you going to do that shit?
Right.
It's like, we make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like, just do this. Like, you're going to be in charge of this shit.
Right.
Just run the course. And he's like, no, I want to do something that matters. I want to help people. I don't want to say like maybe like change the world or whatever, but he's just examining like, why is it this way and does it have to be this way?
Because he became a slave to money. And
the backlash he got from it is insane. Like, just watching that is like, wow, like they get real defensive about that shit, about like why and what can we do?
Because they want to protect things. There's the company line that you have to toe. But it's also, you become a slave to money. Like, if you have... there was one point in my life, I didn't have a lot of money, but I was my financial peak. and I was sober, and I was doing all this back at Longo's the first time around. But you know what? I was very alone, though. I was alone, and I didn't. If you could have all the, and I had my possessions, I was like, oh, I wish this place was filled with people, and I can enjoy this stuff. What good is it? And I was like, what good is this shit if a big TV? What is it? You know, of these things if you can't enjoy it with people? Because you could sit in a fucking mansion and be alone, dude, and that's miserable.
Exactly.
Or you could be poor in Thailand, kicking tires and big smile on your face and loving life with no shoes on, right? So really, it doesn't matter. It's all inside. It's an inside job. It always will be. You know, it'd be nice to sit in a fucking, take a plane ride and not have to sit with people and fucking lay down and sleep and have oxygen pumped in with eating fucking, you know, fruit tartare. But
with a bikini clad stewardess.
Yeah, but if you're alone and you're not happy with yourself, what the fuck good is it? If you secretly want to be an artist and you're doing fucking, you know, numbers all day, then you're gonna be like, man, I always wanted to do fucking art, you know what I mean? But I just did this for the money because my father did it, like this guy's father, you know what I mean? You're gonna be miserable. How many guys you see, they're just stone face, they're not happy. They wish they were playing rock and roll in a band on a Tuesday night in some fucking basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go have fun. I had fun last night.
Yeah.
You're having fun. Like, I have fun. If I die tomorrow, I'll be like, dude, I fucking had fun.
And again, just having that, I guess overcoming that fear of just being on stage like that. Because I've thought too, I'm like, man, I would like to try stand up, right?
Right. Let's go tonight. Let's go tonight.
Definitely not going to do it tonight. That's for sure.
Tonight.
That's not going to happen.
Put your boots on, get your fucking pants and belt on, and woo!
Because I've always thought, I'm like, well, I feel like I'm situational, like, funny.
Right.
Like, if I'm chilling with people and stuff in this, like, I can definitely, I don't want to say carry the conversation, but I can be the one always talking, make sure everyone else is having a good time, this and that. And I can be pretty funny, so I feel and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people laugh around me. But it's way different to just be up on a stage with people that don't know you. And
it's hard
then
to
make them laugh.
It's hard to make strangers laugh.
Like,
That's what you have to make a whole new audience every time of different people laugh and like you and connect with them. That's why that's what's hard about comedy. It's not like music. Like music, you can practice in your room. You know, you can practice. You don't need anybody there to practice to get better. Practice to get better. In comedy, you need an audience. There's the only way.
And like anything else you start, you're going to suck at first. And with music, you get suck by yourself and nobody you know.
Exactly.
But with comedy, it's like, wow, I suck at this and everybody knows it. And I got to be in front of these people to suck to get better at it.
And then you have to get right back up. That's why it's you're called to do it. Like, and that's why even I tried a lot of things in sobriety and throughout my life, never being consistent, like you had said. And trying so many things, dude, from entrepreneurial things to, you know, just all different stuff. And then I was like, I did stand up. I was like, am I really going to stick with this? Let's see. Now, a year and a half going on 2, like I'm in it. I'm fully entrenched. I think about it every day. You know, I perform a lot. And it's just like, no, I think this is it. Like, this might be really it this time. It might not be like, you know, I'm going to be a baker next year. You know what I mean? Like, I like baking now.
Yeah.
Cookies and things, you know, but
I feel the more anything you throw yourself into like that, it has that snowball effect of if you keep putting yourself in that situation around not only people that are doing it, but situations where you're always doing comedy or whatever it is you want to do, it's just going to snowball. I definitely had the same thing when I decided, like, I want to DJ for a living. Like, I think I could pull that off. You know, I think I can make a living DJing, and that's what I like doing. So
do you like it or do you love it?
No, I definitely love it. Yeah, without a doubt. So I want to try that. And when I started putting my efforts into that and figuring out, like, oh, you know, I've been doing it for fun. How can I do it for actually to get a return to make a living on?
Right.
I started putting myself out there with that. I don't want to say mindset because it's still a fun thing that I love doing. So it's not like I'm like, oh, let me see where I can go just to make money doing this.
Right.
But when you start getting the ball rolling, it just kind of happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going to attract people that are looking for what you're offering.
Right.
You know? It's all about just getting that first start, that first step. You know? And that's always the hardest one. People always, they get in their own way. They think of all the reasons why it's not going to work and why it's going to be so hard to start it, instead of just putting their foot down and then putting the next foot down and taking that step. And just, if you start with a little, and it's just going to start snowballing, and then you're going to look back and be like, man, that first step wasn't shit. Because like with anything else, I don't care if it's like skydiving, you're going to be scared shitless. And then the second it's done, you're like, oh, that wasn't bad.
Right.
You know? That's what, anything that you fear or that you're afraid of, and it doesn't have to be anything huge. It could be small stuff. If you look at it, as soon as you do it and get done with it, you're like, oh, that wasn't too bad.
Right.
You know?
No, when you walk through it, it's not as bad. It's like getting punched the first time. You get punched in the face, you're like, oh, that sucked. But that's at that point, that critical juncture that you keep going or you quit and you never do it again. Fighting or sparring or punch another guy. Or comedy or DJing. You could DJ once and be like, I made a mistake here. I'm fucking done. I'm not going back. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing.
Or you say, fuck it, I'm going to go back. I love it. I'm going to get better at this. It's okay. It's okay that I made a mistake. It's okay that I failed. And people give up because they don't want to fail. Fear of how other people perceive you is a big thing. It's everything. It's the ego. Hence, go to the root. That's why it's always the root. I don't look at what the politician's saying here. Where's the root, bro? Money is a big root. Because why is it money a big root? Because what's behind money? Fear of not having it. Fear of not eating. Fear of your family not fucking eating for the next 100 years. Because if you have big money like that, you have legacies and trust funds. Your whole fucking lineage is set for the rest.
Cool.
King James is going to survive. You know what I mean? Your lineage. Your fucking... So, really just play behind. Just keep looking behind the door. Open the door, you're like, oh, it's this. There's another door. Open that door. You'll get to the fucking roots. The ego, bro. It's fear. Fear and hope are two basic raw things. You either have hope or fear.
Exactly. I think people being honest with themselves is one of the hardest things.
It's extremely hard.
People don't realize, and that's one of the things I like about doing this is because you get to talk to people. And again, I mentioned before, it's like there's obviously ain't nobody famous here. You know what I'm saying?
Steve Marden, bro. Steve Marden.
We're just fucking people. So it's like if you can put that out there more, and just anybody gets to it, it's like, oh man, they're being mad open. Like, maybe I should try that. You know what I'm saying?
That's my one dream is to inspire through comedy. To be funny yet inspiring. I don't know if anybody's really done that on a big scale, but I'm not afraid. I don't apologize for my dreams or goals. I want to be one of the greatest comedians that's ever fucking done it. But my angle is to be inspiring as well. To be funny and inspire at the same time. Threading inspiration through a big act. You know what I mean? Also with funny. Just funny, but inspiring. Because I also do a lot of speaking and meetings and stuff like that, and that's half of my thing is to say, hey, man, you could do this too. Or this is my path of 6 years sobriety. I was homeless, and now I'm doing this. So I really want to, not for myself, but to help other people. I'd like money and all these things, but I don't care. If my bills are paid, I have a kid. If he's healthy and happy, and he's a good kid, and he knows his father, I'm in the picture because I grew up without one, then I'm happy. But I would love to really just be like a fucking famous person, like an Eminem, like Eminem's sober. He's fucking showing that you can be sober and do these things. That's inspiring. Inspires me. I love that he's fucking sober. Yeah. He wears the fucking chain that shows it and everything, and how he acts. And he's still a little wacky here and there, but he's not perfect. He's not preaching from a Bible. But you know what I'm saying? Like that, inspiring people, because that's all you have when you're done on this fucking planet. What do you have? You don't leave with anything.
Exactly. It's just and even any type of legacy, at some point in time, it's going to be forgotten.
Of course. 100 years from now, dude, who do we remember throughout time?
Exactly.
Henry Ford?
At some point, at some point, thousands of years down the road, no one's going to remember George Washington. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen at some point.
And that's good to know. And there was one thing, I think it was, I got it actually from a Keanu Reeves movie. It was the only thing, and I'm going to butcher it, but it was the only thing you leave is the words that your child speaks of you. That's it. You got a fucking kid. He's right behind you. When you leave the taste in his mouth of what, no pedophilia attached to it, you perverted motherfucking listeners, all right? But you leave the words on his mouth. You know what I mean? What he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He might be like, he was a good man, and that's all that you're leaving, dude. You're leaving fucking words in your kid's fucking life for the people behind you.
So you're worthless if you don't have a child.
Yes, you are a piece of shit that if you didn't breed,
no one's going to remember or care about you.
You better hang out with some young kids or some shit. Not in a van, not by school.
Not with Steve's van.
Nah, that's right. Not in my van because it's creepy. That's my thing. So don't be fighting. Any comedians riding around in red windowless vans, we're fighting.
I always like the Tupac quote from How Do You Want It, where he was like, all I want is money, fuck the fame, I'm a simple man.
Right.
And I've always thought about that because
that's a brilliant quote. That's right up there with Einstein and Mother Teresa.
Yeah, no, it definitely it parallels the it parallels the theory of relativity. Relativity.
That's right.
Definitely
Definitely meme worthy.
But no, because I always thought about it too, even because when I first got into DJing, I was really young. I'm 16 and stuff, and the only people you see are like the more famous people, like the people on radio, this and that.
Right.
And I always thought like, yeah, that'd be awesome and shit. But really, I like being to myself.
Right.
I'm a very it's a weird balance because I'm pretty outgoing and everything, but I also kind of just like to be by myself.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't want people like knowing not knowing too much about me, but it's like it's hard to explain because obviously doing this, you can find out a whole bunch of shit about me.
Right.
So I kind of don't care in a sense.
But it's good to not apologize for what you want, though. Never apologize for what you want if it's true to you. You know, and if it's not true to you, you can change it. Like I always reserve the right to change my opinion upon new facts and new evidence, or new experiences.
And that's such a huge problem with people too.
Of course it is. They
want pick a side, and there's no talking or reasoning with them.
I'll tell anybody anytime I reserve the fucking right to change my opinion. You might sway me on some shit,
exactly.
But I might be adamant about my opinion now, but I might fucking change it 20 minutes from now. I'm not fucking lock me into a corner. But I'm also, if you know what you want to do and that's it, never apologize for that. Like, people be like, whoa, those are big goals you have. You can't tell people that you want to be up there with Carlin. Are you crazy? That's stupid. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Funny you said that.
Why would I can do what I say what I want? That's what I want. Those are my dreams. Why would you ever fuck? I'm not going to apologize for my dreams. You know what I mean? And I dream big, goddamn. I'm a big guy. I want to dream big. Why would I dream little?
Because even if, again, it's just it's that snowball effect. So even if you don't get to the big dream you had, you're gonna land somewhere high up there where you're like,
or
okay,
I'll land wherever the fuck
I can be happy with this.
I can be happy doing an open mic. That's the difference. I don't have to be happy with what I'm gonna get. The journey is the fucking fun. You know what I mean? There was times I knew it and I've learned that, thank God, by certain self-help and all this other shit I've been through, is that, and this realization, you know what I mean, is that it's all fun now. Like, I was in jail on an amends. I made an amends. I turned myself in. I did the whole thing that you got to do. And I was locked up. And then the first week or so, I was there for 5 months. And the first week or so, I was just like, this fucking sucks. It's hard to adjust. Even though I knew I was going through this, it's still hard, to practice what you preach and think. But then I got into the groove, and I was like, dude, these are the days that we're going to look back and remember as so much fun. And people are like, what are you, fucking crazy? We're in jail. We're eating crusty empanadas, bro. I was like, dude, I love these empanadas. I love empanada day every 2 weeks. Like, I love this shit. Like, I hoarded empanadas, you know what I mean? And I miss those days. It was fun. We made it fun. And I do reminisce over it. I was like, that was fucking fun. Now, that might not work for Nelson Mandela, when he does 30 years. Like, those 30 years were fun. But you're going through some shit, you know what I mean? It's just where you're at. And you can reminisce over the journey of that. And I do. I made good friends. It was a fun time. We had laughs. We had fucking an experience. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it. It's always like, I'll be happy when I get to that.
Always, and you got to take in the experience of, being in the now. I think people do kind of get ahead of themselves a lot. And I know I definitely do.
Goal-driven people.
And
you see that in the colleges. They're like, I'll be happy when I get to be a doctor at that point. No, enjoy the studying in the library of 8 hours with your friends, trying to figure out fucking, lobotomies and shit. You know what I mean? Like have fun doing that, because that's when you're older. You can't do that. I think, listen to old people. People don't in this country give enough respect to the elderly. I love talking to 80-year-olds or 70-year-olds, man. Give them time, because they fucking will drop the illest shit on you.
Yep.
Like, dude, you're 35. You're a baby. I'm like, I am? I feel old. Like, thank you for telling me that. I gotta, what does that mean? It means you got so much time left, or, enjoy this shit, dude. Enjoy walking. Enjoy the pains in your hip of fucking walking down some steps when you get to your 30s. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you mentioned, that you said George Carlin when you were going on about your dreams, because when you first said that, like, oh, I want to do comedy and inspire, first person I thought of was actually George Carlin.
Yeah, he was dropping knowledge on people, man. His shit's gonna live on. Just his take on society and his socio-political slant on with comedy involved is awesome, man. He became more of a philosopher almost than just straight joke.
Exactly.
Set up punch.
And it's genius when you can put that into a routine that makes people laugh, makes you think and laugh at the same time.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's a brilliant guy, and he did it until he died.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, man. I wish that that could be me in my life, Well, you're definitely, again, you're putting yourself out there and taking the right steps, Yeah, having fun. I was just talking to another guy. I was like, "This is work." And he's like, "We gotta have fun." And I have people around me that keep me in check when I fall off too, because I'm like, and I get stressed, and then trying to live the same kind of lifestyle of let's make the most of this life, and and have fun. He's just like, have fun. I'm like, you're right.
That is my motto, have fun.
And that's what I told the guy before his fight, dude. I went to see some fights, and I'm trying to get back into it and train. I want to take a fight, an MMA fight in the cage with the lights.
Yeah, that's when I first started. That was my number one goal. Yeah. Was one pro fight. I want to see how that happens.
Oh, one pro? Nah, I'm good with amateur, but one MMA fight. And I saw it at a casino, and I'm hanging out with my boy, with Jimmy Catrino. He's got a gym now, and it's fun watching him realize his goals and dreams and other kids. So the kid just came, and we were watching some fights. I was giving him pointers and some stuff. He's a southpaw. The other kid was just like a wrestler, but like an overhand right guy. And I'm like, just, circle, throw this, use your speed. He's going to try to, whatever. I gave him some pointers, basic shit. And then he came back right before he was about to fight. He's like, any more, like, one last words or tips, man? I'm like, first thing came, I was like, dude, have fun. Have fun, dude. These are the days you're going to look back on and be like, wow, I was fighting in a cage, dude. Your grandkids are going to be like, what the fuck? When it's outlawed and shit, again. They're like, what? People fought?
It looks like it's here to stay, at least for that generation.
Yeah, but 30, 40 more years, who the fuck knows,
grandparents
dude?
generation,
You can't even,
grandkids.
Look at the NFL. They can't even tackle hard anymore. So
weird,
who knows
right?
what's going to... You got no tackling here, but when MMA becomes football style, they'll be like, no more.
It's like, whoa, no punching in the face.
It's so odd. It's like the juxtaposition is interesting. It's like you can't tackle hard and get concussions here, but yet we're fucking cutting people up with elbows and fucking... so it's weird. It's a weird fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah,
but
I agree. I think maybe...
You look back, those are where it's going to be like, Grandpa fought, even if they're just lawyers and accountants. And they're like, he fought? That's amazing.
I think it's interesting, though, how detailed they go into it. So, obviously, those are concerns in both sports, right? But...
Safety?
Well, like concussions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're just figuring out the long-term effects of that. But the concern more with football is that you're getting hit all the time for an hour straight or however long the game is, and you're still getting hit after you might be concussed.
A week later, correct.
Like
yeah.
so,
and
that amplifies the damage,
correct.
especially long term and stuff.
Correct.
So then when you look at MMA, whatever, it's like, all right, you might get concussed, but you might not be getting hit a bunch of times. It might not,
right.
And then you're not doing it next week.
It could be 6
playing
months,
again.
a year, they give guys off. 3 months, no contact, and
so
all that.
It's just one of the things I like looking at those little details of everything.
Right.
So like, how do they arrive at it in this field, and how do they arrive at it at this other field?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. It's because the NFL is so huge. They got a ton of mainstream people. You have female demographic is outrageous, and they're the mothers, and they don't want their babies getting fucking hurt. That's just what it is. I mean, I don't give a fuck. You can call it sexist or whoever's listening or whatever, but it is the case. It was never that way. Women didn't watch the sport. Women watch it now. Why do you think pink is the whole month? They're wearing pink. It's the whole thing. It's totally become mainstream, 50-50. You can't alienate the demographic as a business. You can't be like, get that pink out of here. You know what I mean? You can't do that.
I agree.
They spend money, dude. You look, NFL's huge with women.
And then they make, and I'm pretty sure it's the highest grossing sport out of the four major sports.
It's ridiculous right now. The NFL ratings for the draft are beating the World Series. And that's a fact that it started last night. So it's like the draft, the offseason, crushes the World Series.
That's nuts. That's pretty nuts.
Do you know what I'm saying? So when you're that big and you're that fucking visible and that public, you have these problems. That's why the Goodell thing, they were like ripping him apart. The guy's doing his job. You don't know what the fuck he did. You don't know if he saw the tape or not. He probably let his people handle it. It got fucked up. Somebody took the tape, wanted to sell it.
Probably,
to make fucking $10 million. He never saw it. They probably was like, yo, Ray, what happened? I pushed her down. She hit her head. She's probably like, dude, it's okay. I'm fine. We had a fight. So what do you want this fucking guy to do? You know what I mean? He's a man like anybody else. He's trying to run a business. He's probably like, well, dude, he's not going to jail. There's no police shit going on. What do you want the guy to do? Fucking kick the guy out of the league forever off a meeting he had with him and his wife? It's ridiculous. But they call for blood, bro. You saw Twitter, the whole thing. They were calling for blood on this guy. Because then the tape came out and it looks horrendous.
It's really bad.
So now you're like, holy shit. So he's probably sitting there like, holy fucking shit, you goddamn motherfucker. This is what you did. You told me you pushed her down. She said, okay. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Now you see this outrage. Fire Goodell. Fire everybody. Everybody's quick to fire people.
The whole chain of command that tape had to do with fire them all.
I can't take this politically correct fucking world. I can't, Josh.
I'm
telling you, I'm gonna end up getting in trouble probably at the start of this podcast because I can't take it, man. It's fucking ridiculous. How are you gonna call off somebody's job? Fire your fucking self. You don't make mistakes. Fuck out of here. Fire him. Fire him. Fire this guy.
And it's weird that like everything can be kind of transparent now. Like all the information gets out, but it's still hard to pinpoint exactly what happened and stuff like that.
Of course,
where
you're
you
not in
feel
the
like
room.
It should be pretty easy. You know
You're
what I'm
not in
saying?
the fucking room, but even firing for what? So they made a fucking, you don't know. It's always in the middle.
Yeah.
The guys, you know what I mean? Oh, should have been this, should have been that. They're fucking backseat quarterback. I would never want to be like, oh, that's why comedy, I love it too, because I say whatever the fuck I want. And when I got into it, just like you're getting into it with a podcast, you have to eventually be okay with being wrong or pissing people off, or they're going to love you, hate you, but you're rather be loved or hated than be fucking just neutral. That's what I made the deal.
Yeah,
To
you don't want
be
people
like,
to be indifferent
no.
about you.
No.
You know?
And it was hard for me to accept that when I got out into the public and with my opinions. I'm like, I have some pretty strong opinions, and I say things that are fucking
And I'm a big
controversial.
dude, so I'm just gonna say that. and fuck
just
you
gonna
and
say
Google.
It, you know, I'm like, I might say some sexist stuff. And I don't know if I mean it yet. I mean, I was bred with certain things. You know what I mean? I've said racist things. I've said sexist things. I'm going to say more things like that. That I don't... Maybe they come out on accident. Maybe people... It's misinterpreted.
Maybe it's not as polished as it could be.
It's not as polished. Oh, I've been called the fucking racist 3 times already in comedy. Dude, I got booed off stage in Harlem and almost started a riot. It was ridiculous. Because,
but it was fun, right?
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun because, you know why? Because it was an experience. I went through it and whatever. You can think what you want from me. I fucking know. I'll give mouth to mouth to a black person if they're dying. You know what I'm saying?
There was.
I know my truth.
The first thing I said when we started this podcast was, listen, it's filed under comedy. Neither, like me and my co-host Eric, like neither one of us are comedians technically, but when you say it's under comedy or that you're a comedian, you get way more leeway with what you're allowed to say before people get truly mad and offended at you.
Truly
you know?
mad, yes, but they still do. There's blogs out there.
No, without a doubt. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Look at this guy. He talked about rape.
Because
he made this funny. That's not funny.
Yeah.
When you start putting that's not funny, you're walking down a dangerous fucking path.
Guess what?
In
it's
this
not
world.
funny to you.
Correct.
You have to respect the right that someone else could find that funny.
Correct.
You know, and that they're allowed to hear it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Fine. If you don't find it funny, don't support that comedian. That's all you have to do.
Right.
That's where your power lies. Don't buy any of his stuff.
Right.
You know, nobody is doing like Clockwork Orange type stuff where they're like pinning you in a room, holding your eyes open, and making you watch it.
Maybe that could be my thing.
Was that Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, maybe that could be my thing. I think so. Or, yeah, probably. It sounds like Kubrick.
One of the Kubrick, yeah.
I think I should do that. Maybe that'll be my thing. You come to a show and I get toothpicks in your eyelids.
I'm never going to another one of your shows. I'm just going to let you know that right now. I don't want that.
The hands behind here, and this is going to be the alt show. Alternative comedy at its finest.
Good luck with that one. I support you in what you do, but I won't be there.
Just a ball gag right in a leather strap with a tennis ball, just right in your mouth.
You know, you're getting into like the blackout like haunted house shit.
Yeah, it'll be fucking interesting. Good concept. So yeah, fuck PC shit, dude. It's just, I don't even know where that started from, but I can't stand it. I can't fucking stand it. The NFL, MMA, concussions. Where were we at?
Well, what I was gonna say about that is like, I agree that probably some of it has to do with its wider reach and audience, but there are a lot of people talking about it that aren't, you know, your soccer mom demographic. Which, I mean, people have like Junior Seau who killed himself. Yeah. You know, due to depression that stems from the brain injuries and concussions and stuff. So there are a lot of ex-players that are advocating for a lot of it.
I can find the knitting team that somebody killed themselves that was from knitting. They were in the knitting meetup, you know.
But there seems to be a higher percentage.
But is there? Is there really?
Of
all the football players that played the game and one guy committed suicide, I'm sure I could find somebody from volleyball that killed themselves if I look.
But probably not from concussions. Maybe from something else.
They don't know that yet.
I'm saying you can always find an outlier.
And you could say it was from he twisted his ankle in the sand. You know, sand.
But apparently, when there are scientists that are connecting that. Listen, concussions can lead to depression, lead to whatever. So even if you're not everybody's dropping like flies, killing themselves. Just now you're living the rest of your life in this state, which and granted, maybe or maybe not, they made the conscious decision to do that. They're like, all right, I'm going to put myself at risk, but I'm going to get this much money to do it and live the life the way I want
to play football.
So I get that side of it.
Probably did steroids. I'm not going to slander him, but he probably did. You know what I mean? I'm saying probably.
I think I think that might be liable.
Dude, I'm a
liable,
comedian.
whatever.
Is
that only in print when it's liable?
Nah, I don't know. I don't care. Like, what are you gonna sue from me, bro? You want to take my red van? You want to take my screw gun?
You want to take my rape van?
What are you gonna take from me? Please take the fucking screw gun and the sheetrock saw. I hate the fucking business. Go ahead. What are you gonna take from me? Fuck out of here. He probably did. NFL guys take that shit back in those days. You know, those drugs fuck with your hormone levels too. So let's let's put it all out. If you're gonna say one thing, put it all out there.
Especially, well, that's why, I mean, technically, it is banned. You're not supposed to be doing those
He
anymore,
most likely did steroids. He most likely got concussed. He played football. He's got money. He's probably depressed, lonely. Who the fuck knows? It could be a multitude of factors, and he killed himself. You know what I'm saying? Is it just from concussions? Is it, you know what I mean? I'm not even making an argument for concussions. But
I'm pro-concussion over here.
I mean? Like, I had a couple. I mean, shit. We all grew up having concussions. But that's football. You made the decision to play football. It's a violent sport. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with that, right? But I also, live and learn, and the more information you find, it's like, all right, they might not have known all the risks that there were when they decided to do that. Now we know more about it.
They do know more.
So to educate and be like, all right, this is more. This is pretty prevalent, and there's a good chance of it happening. Can we curtail it anyway?
Yeah.
You know, and I can, I guess, applaud the effort, but again, when you get used to just something being the way that it is, it's like, this is what football is. You know, when you get hit,
right?
Like, and how do you police it where, you know, helmet to helmet contact? It's like 9 times out of 10, they're not doing that shit on purpose.
Right.
Because the other person can get damaged. I don't want the tackler can get damaged from that. So they're not trying to do it. It's just that you have bodies moving at ridiculous speeds, doing at ridiculous angles. It's gonna happen. Right. So I don't know. Like, can you really penalize it for just happening?
Well, now they just keep sit them out, which is fine. If you have a concussion, you sit out the rest of the game, shit like that. That's all fine. You don't want to be playing. I mean, get your bell rung. Safe. I had concussions, played games. I played football, and I'd play. You know, still go on with it. Maybe I'm a little loopy. I think it's the acid, but who knows?
Combination, maybe.
Who knows?
Never know.
I got kicked in the head, got knocked out. You know, you wake up a couple of days later. You're like, well, I got mine.
The one time I really remember getting, like, it was just, we were playing basketball. We both went for a loose ball, and we just both, like, dove for it at the same time. His head hit mine, and, like, I had to go to the hospital. Like, I remember the nurse checked me out. This is, like, in 8th grade.
Right.
And I was like, yo, that shit fucking really clocked me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, yo, shit's ringing. Right. I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. They're like, no, don't do that.
The old no sleep thing. I went through that too. I dove for a football, landed on bricks. Why would That's nice playing football in Queens. It's just a nice football field we got. Where contractors are just dumping their fucking debris in the field.
The bricks and nails and screws.
Dude, I dove for a ball in a pickup game, and then I woke up. And my brothers, I'm like, what the fuck happened, bro? I remember, they said I hit I don't know what the fuck I landed on. They said bricks in the thing. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. Maybe I got no clue. I got just like, what?
A combination of that and acid will fuck your brain up for a while.
Well, no, I was younger then. I was like 12.
Well, have you heard, did you hear what happened to Sam Kinison? Like, no. You know, he's known for being kind of crazy and shit in that style. But apparently, he wasn't like that always. And he had gotten hit by a car when he was younger.
Really?
And I think his brother had said, you noticed the difference right after that. He was in a real bad car accident where he wasn't in another car. I think he was just, like, out on the street and he got hit by a car.
Oh, that sucks.
And it fucked his brain up.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of what made him into what he was, though, too.
Yeah.
So it's, like, again, a double-edged sword where, like, getting hit by a car sucks. But would he have been the same comic or even been in comedy the same way if that didn't happen?
He was definitely unique, and he parlayed it into something which is also inspiring.
But it could, without a doubt, but it could slightly be because of brain damage.
Yeah. Sam Kinison was brain damaged. That's the root of his success. Brain damage. We're all fucking brain damaged. We all grow up with families that damage our brains.
They have no idea what they're doing. Exactly. Nobody knows.
Like this kid. All right, let's see if we dress him in this. Let's see what this does.
They're like, well, this is how I was brought up, and they feel they came out okay, and...
you don't think this wallpaper damaged you growing up? This fucking damaged the shit out of you. It's damaging me right now.
No, it definitely could have. I can totally see that. And it's weird when you start trying to, like, look more inside and keep going down each level and get deeper into it, you can kind of correlate some of these little things. Like, well, I could see this playing, like, you know, just this the aura of this room playing
Right.
certain roles in how I've acted through the years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Obviously
Sure.
not like a one-to-one correlation where like, oh, it's definitely because of this that this happened, but you just see the accumulation of everything.
Right. I think I'm having a breakthrough right now, actually, because I'm like, oh, shit, maybe that's something in back. I'm like, I grew up with my mother, and she loved to have, she'd call them knickknacks. She had her knickknacks. And I'd grow up with my mother, who was a lot older. She had me late in life and had her knickknacks. And I'm growing up as a teenager. You know, she's older. She gave up on raising kids after my fucking brothers. You know, I was the forgotten child. But with her knickknacks to be everywhere, and I'd try to have people over. She'd be out partying when I'd have people over, and like they'd fucking move the knickknacks, and then I'd try to straighten them out. She would know the fucking degree that the little fucking elf gnome knickknack was facing. I'm like, holy shit! But it was like odd house. And it wasn't the sign of the times the way she decorated it. And then I would trip acid in there. And then I'd fucking... I remember going back a couple years later and seeing it after being away from it. And like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I would trip out again. So it definitely probably scarred me. All her fucking decorating and knickknacks and her home.
Especially little gnome...
Design.
Seeing little gnome people on acid.
She had an Elvis fucking painting on the wall above the TV with those creepy eyes. One of those paintings that follows you everywhere. So I just had Elvis. Was like my surrogate father following me around all day.
Just with that look of disappointment all the time,
Dude.
everywhere you went.
And it's like one of those velvet paintings that had like texture to it, like velvet or something.
Everything you tried to hide, he knew, because he just saw you all
It's like
the time.
fucking Elvis, bro. I gotta see this fucking painting. If I think back in my mind's eye on that, I'm just like, what the fuck? It was a trippy, weird... We'd watch the wall. We'd just trip out in there.
Nice.
Maybe
nice.
I had to leave. I had to leave Florida after that. A few too many trips. Like, I gotta move.
I can't even be in this state.
I dropped out of high school. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to New York. My brothers are up there. I'm out of here.
I'll figure it out.
See you later.
Was what age was that?
16. I dropped out at 16. Yeah, 16, just about to be 17.
All right.
And I was
How
out.
much? So, do you remember a lot of like before then? So, like your Florida years.
I remember Florida. Florida was 6th grade till dropping out of high school. And then before that was Cali. But I remember a lot of shit. Dude, I was bullied, man. I was bullied a lot growing up. I wasn't always big and fucking... It's probably why it turned out the way eventually I did. But 6th grade bullied. I was always the new kid in school.
How do you feel about the whole anti-bullying movement that's going on now?
I'm for and against it. I have different opinions on it. I don't think any kid should bully other kids. But also, if a kid does get bullied, he needs to be prepared on how to handle it. You have to be. Otherwise, that kid will always... fucking be bullied throughout life. He'll never stand up for himself. He'll get that fucking bitch-ass wife that's just gonna, Fred, let's go, Fred. Get the salami, Fred. Jesus, Fred. What the fuck, Fred? You're so useless, Fred. And just poor Fred just hears 30 years of that, right? Like, you've seen that guy. Let's go, Fred. Get in the car, Fred. Jesus, you can't take you anywhere, Fred. And Fred just... fucking scoliosis sets in over lower and lower, and the guy's just defeated. He's got a hearing aid turned off.
Just
He's
from
just
words.
Like, just Fred. You know what I mean? We all know that fucking husband or that father. And then they make babies that are fucking mini Freds. That just these women just abuse the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like, I would never fucking have a girlfriend that was just, Steve! I'd be like, shut your fucking snatch. Just shut it the fuck up, woman. Like, I can understand a Ray Rice beating in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, she was just probably like, Ray!
Well, I think she did.
Like, whoosh.
I think the video, like, she did spit on him, I think, right before it
She
happened.
spit on him. She probably was just whining the whole fucking time on her period.
It's probably for like a week straight, too. It's little things that she
and he's
kept
just sitting there, I just
excluding.
want to fuck shut
And they're drunk, so that doesn't help.
Yeah,
And
he's
he's
probably
just
just like, shut the fuck up and I'm going to snuff you. I'm going to just snuff the shit out of you. Because certain cultures, not to say black people, but certain cultures will just different. They dogfight and beat the fucking shit out of a woman.
That's what Adrian Peterson's going through right now, too.
Yeah.
You know?
They're like, oh, I can't hit my kid? Well, he bloodied the kid up. Which is wrong.
It could definitely be
It's
deemed
wrong
as
today.
excessive, but
It was
doing what was done to him. Maybe he didn't
Correct.
get beat to a bloody pulp like that, or not
Right.
that even that his kid was to a bloody pulp, but to the point where he broke skin and he bled.
Correct.
But so it's just coming through. It's like, well, that happened to me and I turned out all right, so I don't see what's wrong with it.
Right.
That's his view on it.
Yeah, but now he can never play in a football again, which is ridiculous again. Like, stop fucking exaggerating shit and trying to make people into fucking, examples and shit. It's ridiculous. You can't never play the game you love for the rest of your life because you fucking made a mistake.
And exactly. It's like, yo, you never made a mistake before?
that you grew up learning that. So shut the fuck up, because you don't understand it. Some people in Papua New Guinea fucking rip this foreskin off little kids' dicks with chopsticks. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck? You're gonna go over there? Why don't we go over there and yell at them? Be like, you can never fucking go hunting with your bow and arrow again. Like, you know.
Well, it's because they don't make $1 billion.
Which hence is why I never want fucking equality. I don't want socialism or communism. We're all the same. It's boring. Then it's all gonna be fucked up. It's the worst ever. I like having a bunch of people to have a ton of shit. And then have a bunch of poor people, because they don't give a fuck about those poor people. So those poor people do whatever they want. They're not gonna fucking be bothered.
But could it get to a point where if everybody is not at the same playing field, not like everyone has to be middle class, like all the rich people middle class, all the poor people middle class, everybody just
fucking terrible. It'd be the worst thing ever in the world. Believe me.
But what if it's just where everyone is provided for or can make a living or provide for themselves?
Opportunity. All you need is the opportunity and the chance. That's it. If you give someone, it's like giving people the tools. There's the tools. There's going to be people that never want to use the tools. They want you to use them, and they want to sit back and lay in the hammock. That's going to be that way.
But if it's to a point where they see, like, all right, I could just do whatever job it is and be able to provide and just be okay and not struggle.
Right.
Do you think that opens up more possibilities for creativity? Because we were talking about before how a lot of creative endeavors, like, they get put on hold or that they're stifled by just like, all right, I have to eat today. I gotta, live and make rent this month.
It'll probably create the opportunity for mundane creativity and laziness. Because when you gotta work your fucking ass off and still be creative, genius comes out of that. It doesn't come out of special things. Don't come out of fucking, it's like dog shit. Great stuff, great flour come out of some dog shit. You know what I mean?
Or mushrooms out of cow shit.
But then you can have, or mushrooms out of cow shit. Or you can have the greatest fucking soil and grow a rotten tomato plant. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's really, I think when you have to work hard for something, great stuff comes out of it.
I can definitely see, even like not just art but innovation comes out of struggle.
Of course, and the necessity is the mother of invention. We have enough slogans and sayings right now to carry us through the rest of our years, you know what I mean, that people figured out already. So why do we got to reinvent the fucking wheel all the time? We can straighten shit out on a humanity level, like stop beating your kids with fucking straps. You don't need to do that. There's a new way, so let's adapt. But it takes time to filter out and breed that, into society.
Well, it takes generations.
It can take.
As we said, like, if you just do what was done unto you, then all right, now you have to actually have a child and not do that for that mind frame to keep carrying on.
Correct. For the collective consciousness to switch and to change.
It can't just be like you make it a law and the next day no one's doing it.
Right. But as far as like I'm a capitalist, you know what I mean? I'm all for you work hard, you get more than the other guy who didn't work as hard. If he's disabled, I always look at it like if we were all on a fucking island, you know what I mean? What would happen? We'd all be there. All various people, right? And we're gotta survive. Now, if I'm building shit and busting my ass for 12 hours a day and some guy's sleeping all fucking day and he's able-bodied, you think I'm going to let that guy live in my fucking house? Would you?
No.
Would you be like, no, it's cool, bro.
But on
an
island...
I'm liberal. Come live in my fucking house. It's all good. You don't got to do anything.
But on an island with 10 people or whatever, you're not connected in the way where it's like anybody depends on anyone else. It's like, all right, I have to build my own house, get my own food, and that's that.
No, you can't. Now, you would depend because this guy is a great fisherman. He can swim. I can't swim, but I can build shelter. You could swim. So now you go out and you got fucking fish like crazy. That's all how this all started, dude. If you really want to think about it, I'm just making it basic and bringing it down to this fucking core element.
Well, that's what...
Now I'm gonna be like, yo, can I have a fish? You'll be like, well, it took me fucking 4 hours to... You're going to put a value on that fish. You're going to be like, it took 4 hours to catch that one fish. Or more. It took me 20 hours because I had to whittle a fucking knife and a thing, and then I did this, and I sharpened it. You're going to be all these things I did to get that fish. And then you're going to look and be like, and I just threw some fucking palm fronds on top of fucking some logs that were laying around. It took me an hour. You'd be like, no, it's not a fair trade. You'd be like, I'll give you the tail of the fish for that shelter. Or build me a better shelter.
But that shelter might last you a week. This fish is going to be gone in 20 minutes. And I need another fish tomorrow.
There's your debate. That's where your haggling skills of placing value come. Now be like, oh, that's a good point. You'd be like, oh shit, that's right. All right. Hence, then you come to an agreement. Do you think
there is a value though?
Now you're in business. Now the other guy says, well, it's cold. I know how to make clothes, motherfucker. Right? And that guy comes in. He's making sweaters and shit out of whatever. Right?
I'm interested in the the minimum wage debate because I want to know do you think that there's a value though when now we're connected in a larger scale? There's way more people. We pay taxes. They go to certain things and everything. you're somewhat you have a responsibility to other people even if you don't know it. You know,
do you have a responsibility to
financial
society? No, but really, no, you don't. You do not. You have a
But if you
responsibility
use stuff-
to other people to not harm anybody. And to not touch them, not harm anybody. That's your only responsibility as a fucking human, is to not harm anybody. You're not obligated to help anybody. You're not you shouldn't be. I shouldn't be obligated to help somebody. Why?
I'm not saying. No, I'm not even saying obligated. But I'm saying, do you think there's a value in it when maybe helping those people helps everyone else? Would it help you as well?
Correct. But that's a choice you should be allowed to make. We have freedom, freedom of decision, but you shouldn't be responsible to do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you should be held responsible to do it.
You should be held responsible to not harm anybody.
I'm just saying,
that's for sure.
Is there a value in, again, I'm just big on, if someone works 50 or 60 hours a week between two jobs or something, should they be able to just survive, get by?
Well, let's go by the island. Let's go back to the island, because this is how you break it right the fuck down in simplistic forms. You have a guy that's fucking, now what does he do?
And I'm talking,
what does this guy do?
So I'm talking about someone who works 60 hours, not someone who's just sitting around not doing shit.
Let's play it out. You got a guy that's bringing fish, a guy that's doing clothes, a guy that's doing necessity shit, right? Food. You got fucking shelter, food, because in the end, that's all that fucking matters, right? You start getting iPhones for what? It says as a way and means to communicate, to get food, dude. All it traces back to get food, shelter, and your fucking clothes, and you're back from the elements.
Listen, Angry Birds has nothing to do with getting food.
Exactly. So now you have but that's when the economics blossoms out. But that's entertainment. So now check it out. So now you got these 20 people. You can multiply 10. You go to 100. And let's keep it 100 because it'll be the more advanced as we get with this, then you become to today. So, but now let's keep it at 20, right? So you got food guy, or 10. You got food, shelter, fish guy. Maybe you got a hunter. He gets meat. You're like, oh shit, that's nice to switch up. The guy's a good hunter.
Maybe there's 2 fish guys.
You know what I mean? Could be 2 fish guys. One guy's like, well, and then that's when it starts to compete and drive price down. That's when, because I love economics. So I one day want to go back to school for it and actually write a book on some shit. But that's neither here nor there. That's why I'm 55, 60. But now, because it's so amazing how it all comes together.
No, I'm fascinated by it as well.
But think about it like that. So now, say there's a guy now, he's like, fuck, I want to do shit. Maybe he's smaller. Maybe he's just physically can't do certain things. He can't, one guy can climb coconuts. He gets coconut water. He's ill at that. He's doing well. He's thriving in society, right? Nice little shelter. He's getting tons of coconuts. He's doing well. Now you got somebody that's fucking lazy as fuck. They ain't doing shit, right? That guy's just sitting over there. Lazy as fuck, does nothing. Now he's going to always come up and be, can I get some, and they're going to feel sorry because you have extra. You're going to throw them scraps, right? Some people are just naturally going to do that. They're going to feel bad. They're over here partying, that guy's over there lazy, he didn't work. You're like, dude, let's want to throw him some shit, right? No, yeah, okay. Right? And you'll give him a fucking little coconut. You're not getting the big coconut, you're getting the fucking little tiny little bit of shit. And then you're going to sit over there kind of away from the party because you didn't do anything. You didn't earn it.
You're not invited to this party.
We'll feel sorry for you and we're all hopped up because that guy now, Josh, in the island knows how to make alcohol. You figured that out, so he's very popular. He's like kind of rich, right? Because he's like, dude, we all want alcohol. So I'll build you a super big house, bro. He's got ill fish. He's just stocked up, right? Then you got the tobacco guy because like, oh, smoking tobacco feels good. You know what I mean? That kind of relaxes us. That's nice. Now you have somebody that maybe can't do any of that. Now he's just funny. Maybe he fucking dances on his head and does weird shit when he's drunk. So he's the jester, right? He's like, that guy's funny. He entertains us, makes us laugh. So we'll give that guy shit. He gets shit too because he's doing something, right? And then there's a job where the guy can't do any skills, but he's like, I'll clean up after this party, right? He's like, I'll clean. I just see him cleaning up all the time. You're like, dude, that's so nice. You just saved us time to clean up this whole mess that we made. And then the people that prepared it, they cooked it all. You had the fish. He's like, I can cook. I know how to do this shit. Oh, that shit tastes good. He gets a job. So they get jobs, but some are more important. Anybody can sweep up. So how important is it? You're not as important as Josh, who makes alcohol. I'm not giving you a big ass house because you cleaned up. There's 50 cleanup people.
Where the thing that I'm saying though is like where now you have to translate that to when there is more than 100 and it's 330 million people.
You can multiply that up. You can multiply it all the way to the top.
And it affects you in.
Anybody can go to McDonald's and work at McDonald's.
Pretty much without a doubt. I totally agree with that.
Right? Well, no, everybody.
Now, but
I was at a McDonald's. Everybody. There was some people.
There's some people that can't. That was my first job. Well, one of my first jobs. They just got to
touch a pig. If you could see, even if you don't see that braille now in the fucking thing, but if you could see the picture, you're like that. I want that picture. They just look down and like, if you can't Pictionary that motherfucker and play look at it. man, then do you deserve to have a house? Do
well,
you?
This is what happens. Really? No, it doesn't have to be a house.
Or a car. You should not drive. You should be on the bus for sure.
And now if you live in Ohio, that's not possible. There's no bus that's going to bring you to the McDonald's that's out of the city. You know,
I don't even trust you get on a bus. If you can't match a Big Mac picture to a Big Mac picture on
now,
the
how
register,
it affects you though is if they can't afford certain things or whatever, it gets subsidized by the government
which is
a
choice that society has made. Though.
That's where we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which I'm against. I'm against all of it because I've been on the system. It works but it's also too much room for
a little easy to be taken advantage of.
Way too easy.
All right.
Because the government can't run shit.
Now,
the government can't run things. Agree. It's inefficient. It's bloated.
I can agree with that.
It's miserable. It's disgusting, and it's just a fucking waste.
It's a bureaucratic system that now has to keep itself alive.
So go back to the guy that's lazy and getting off the scraps. Now, this guy, do you want that life of scraps?
Again, though, for the most part, if you look at it, those are the outliers of it. You know, the people that use the assistance, the overwhelming majority of it are people that actually work and still need it. So now,
I lived it. I went through it in New York City, which is probably the biggest
hardest
city.
Part to do it. The hardest place to do it in. Cost of living is crazy though.
But there's a ton of jobs. You can get room shares. So you can get rooms to rent. I did it. I did it with no help, no nothing. I did it. You know, you can learn a skill. You got to work, man. You got to bust your ass.
Again, I'm saying, and I'm talking about the people that are, and for whatever reason.
But if New York's so hard, then leave New York. Go to another state.
Well, no, it's the same problem everywhere though.
Yeah, but
it's not just New York.
But you can get a job. You can go to Home Depot. You can work 2 jobs, man. That's like I'm not one to ever.
And I'm still talking about the people that are doing that. That are either 2 jobs, that are splitting 60, almost maybe 80 hours a week, whatever. And for whatever reasons, they're still have to be on the system. Now, if as a collective, since the government,
but who's on that system? They're not. If you're working 60 hours, you're most likely not on that system. Or what do you want it for?
It seems from what I've seen, it seems like it is a lot of people in these jobs where the minimum wage debate comes up is like McDonald's and stuff like that.
Right.
So
McDonald's is not meant to support a family of 2. It's not that kind of job.
But you know what? Back in the day, neither was you can look at the milkman, right?
Right.
That's not. You don't need a college education for that. You don't need any education for that. You're just delivering milk. But listen, that milkman was able to support a family.
No, that milkman drove a truck, right, full of milk. That was an important job. That wasn't.
Why? You don't need milk to live. You don't need McDonald's to live. You don't need milk to live.
Back then, you need food. It's food. You had to drive, milk, stuff like that.
But you don't. Again, it's not a necessity.
The supply and the demand, right? A FedEx driver can. He drives around. He's got to have a CDL license, and they pay that guy.
And it's a little more specialized. They train it, and it's kind of a different industry. You know,
right.
So I'm going with
there's so many, but not everybody should have support families. Then. Get another job, work harder, get into a trade, find an avenue that you can.
You know what? With 330 million people, not everybody's gonna be able to do that, right?
Right.
So you're gonna have people that you're gonna need people to clean up after your party, no matter what.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And there are gonna be people with the amount of people versus the amount of jobs. Not everyone's gonna be able to get it, even with the training and education. I know people with 3 master's degrees that can't get jobs in their field or whatever it is.
Then go outside your field.
You know what's outside your field? Fucking McDonald's.
It doesn't matter. There's a guy I know that was a lawyer, and now he went and washed cars. Okay? He didn't fucking say, oh, poor me, this and that, I should have that. He went and washed fucking cars. That's it. He's out there fucking washing cars and busting his ass and outworking all the fucking illegal immigrants that are there doing it. So what do you say about that guy? You know what I'm saying?
I say that guy should be able to support his... not his lifestyle, because obviously I don't think then I should be able to drive a BMW around. No, I'm not saying that. I say you should be able to support yourself without the government's help. Is what I'm saying.
You can. You have to work harder. If you have no skills, zero skill, or zero added value to fucking community where people want to pay you for that X amount so you can own a home. I don't own a home, I rent. You know what I mean? I could, but that's for other mistakes. I have a really good skill and I have a business, so my skill is warranted. But it took me years to learn it, practice it, and get better at it at carpentry. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's that skill. People don't want to work hard these days, dude.
But again, I'm going to bring back to the back in the day, working on an assembly line is a low skill job. You know, you didn't have to really know anything. You could do it without any type of education. Right. And back in the day, those people would be able to support families with those type of jobs.
Because there was less people. there was less people.
There you go. So now there's more
too
people.
bad. Stop having babies then. Stop putting babies on the welfare system. If
Well,
you went onto the welfare system,
it's not just
three
that.
babies.
It's that people are living longer because of advances in technology and healthcare and stuff like that.
But that'll balance itself out. You gotta have to have. It's always going to be.
It's not going to balance its way out because our population keeps going up.
It will eventually.
Well, yeah, with Ebola maybe it'll fucking even it out.
There'll just be more poor people, dude. That's all. There'll just be more poor people.
And those poor people become a strain on a society, right? So now if you're able to the only thing I guess the government could do about that is be like, all right, well, you have to at least pay these people this much or whatever, or at least rise with the inflation.
No wonder they'll bankrupt it and they'll all fucking go. Trust me, people stop coming here.
There are so many. No, listen, but there are so many.
Yeah, there will, because you only have entitlement in a rich country. There's no rich country. There's no more entitlement. It's like this. We're doing really fucking well at this party right on this island. I only have one. I can't give it to you. I only have one pineapple, bro. I'm keeping my pineapple. I got 10 pineapples and 10 fish you're going to give to the guy that's doing nothing. There are people in this country who do nothing.
I understand, and I'm telling you those.
I did nothing. And I can go fucking get welfare. I can go take you to the system, and you'll see people. Where's my benefit? It's just the way
I understand that. And
that's fucked. I
don't think it's the majority, and I'm not saying you should. That's definitely not what I'm saying.
That's why I cheat on my taxes. I ain't fucking paying that shit.
I'm telling the people. Again, I was talking about the people that are putting in the effort and working X amount of hours.
But they
between
will.
Whatever
They will. They'll get it. They might not get a fucking house and a car.
No, and they should. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying living at a above poverty level.
They are.
Not a lot. No, they're not though. That's the whole.
Who are these people? Where are they working?
That's the argument against it and stuff.
Two people work if you work at McDonald's and you work at fucking Burger King, 2 jobs, you work day and night, and you're working 2 jobs, you're working 15, 16 hours a day. I guarantee that person has more money than you and I fucking both. They're renting a room.
No.
100%. It's not what you make, it's what you save and spend. Doesn't matter what you fucking make. Trust me in that. Guys make a fucking $100,000 a year, and he's spending his money on a BMW, spending on an apartment. You know what he has at the end of the year? He's got fucking debt. Yeah. He has debt. He owes $5,000 net. Okay? Then there's a guy that fucking lives in a rented room, and he says, I'm going to live in my means, not above my means, like a fucking responsible person.
I totally agree with that as well.
And he works at McDonald's and fucking Burger King. And the guy makes $8 and $10, okay? That's what he's making. But he's paying fucking little tax on that, because the more you make, the more you get taxed, right? Or maybe as an off-the-books job, because that's what's going to happen. When you have too many people and too much shit, you're going to have way more off-the-books jobs. It's just what it is. When government gets too big, people they naturally find a way around it. And it's off the books. That guy's going to make $10 an hour off the books. You know what I'm saying? Sweeping up, cleaning somewhere. You know why? Because he's going to work harder than the next guy who says, I'm going to be like this. And he's like, I'll fucking do it for 10. That's why minimum wage is no good. Because it's like, I can just pay this guy. I got to pay this guy $5. Or you can pay somebody else fucking 2 5s. You're going to cut job. There's no jobs there. Minimum wage, there's an argument about, I'm not going to get into it because I got to go.
I think that's a race to the bottom, though.
No, it's not.
And again, it doesn't. And I'm only
You're going to cut jobs, trust me. Watch, I'm just going to point you in a direction to some people to watch. But I'll send you the links. But you fucking look up minimum wage and look up some capitalists, some different people. I'll send you links. But I don't want to get in this conversation. I got to run. No offense. But you can't force it. I own a business. If you tell me I got to pay a certain guy a certain amount of money, I'm either going to go get another guy off the books who's willing to work for it, right? Or I'm going to fire this guy. Or I could have 2 guys working, and they can learn a trade. It was able to allow people to learn and grow trades. Sweeping a floor, anyone can do that. So should you pay the guy $30 an hour? You won't be in business.
No, definitely not $30 an hour.
But that's what people want. They think McDonald's should make $35 a fucking hour.
No, they're arguing for 15.
Doesn't matter. Then go to 20, 30. It would start.
Well, even 15, again, 20. Just keeping up with inflation.
If you tell a business. You can't tell a business what to pay anybody. It doesn't work, dude. Now you're talking communism and shit. It doesn't work. It will not work.
So what about the businesses that choose to pay more and how well they're doing? Yeah. Places like Costco, the Container Store. And do you think that adds a value to society as a whole?
It can. You'll have that.
Because then you have almost a natural...
You have the choice to work at McDonald's for $8 an hour. You can leave. Nobody's telling you have to work there. Go fucking do construction, lift sheetrock all day long.
This is again is what I'm saying. Like, someone's gonna have to is what I'm saying. And those people that have to, right? Whether it's revolving door and they have to for a year and then do something else. Right. It's always gonna be someone that has to do that, right? So if you
no one has to do anything. That's why this country is so great. No. People come from other countries. People fucking flip out in this country. No. People fight to get here to work at McDonald's because other countries, there's no opportunity. Yeah. Zero. They fucking take $8. Like, this is fucking amazing. I get to make $8 an hour and live in a fucking bedroom. We're a spoiled fucking country. It's a spoiled, rich, piece of shit country right now. It really is. Everybody's fucking spoiled. I was spoiled. I was felt entitled. I should have this. I should have that. Because all the people from the strength of the unions, that what we went through, a couple wars from fucking 1940 on, we were pretty strong. Through the 80s, we became rich, inventions, a lot of shit. We had a lot of money, and then we raised these fucking whiny-ass fucking kids, dude. A bunch of liberal fucks.
You know what's
that
weird?
Are now like, I should make 30, he should make $30 an hour at Wendy's. Go work at fucking Wendy's. Go do that shit. If you don't have skill, make a fucking paycheck $1,000 and give $500 to a fucking lazy fuck. Work your fucking balls off that you know I fucking went to school, I earned this, I sweated, I bled for $1,000, and I gotta give fucking half my check to somebody who did nothing. Really? Go to the fucking HR department and walk through there and watch and listen to the conversations that go on. I spent fucking 2 years going through that shit. I did it. I lived in three-quarter house. I live with people. I live with felons, people on the system, hustling the system. You know what? I feel sorry. I'm not even mad. I feel sorry. You want to take my 500, my scraps? Because I'm going to keep working because I have a mentality and a work ethic that I'm going to eventually make 2, 3 because I'm going to outwork you. And when you're a business, it's about money. If you work harder than that guy, I want you. Right?
Yeah.
Now you create leverage. You might have worked for $3 a fucking hour. You were like, I'll do this guy. He wanted 5. I'll do it for 3. You're like, well, all right, I'll go with you. Right? Now you busting your fucking ass. You're doing this. Now I'm investing in you. No. Think about it as a business owner. I come and I want to be your DJ. I'm like, I'll do it for free. You're like, oh, shit, you win. You win the job. Now I'm like, boom, I got your crate here. I got your fucking records, right? I'm fucking waxing them. They're clean. Every time you pull it out, it's alphabetical order. I'm fucking ahead. You never have to think twice. Now you're making money because I'm invested.
I wouldn't want them in alphabetical
now
order.
Okay. I learned, well, whatever.
Fucking with you.
Ethnicity, fucking there it is. Blacks in the front, white people, rappers in the back. Now you're pressing buttons. I'm learning, right? I'm learning all about DJing. Then one day you let me DJ because we're fucking working, right? And now maybe I live in your house because that's how I was in the island, right? If apprenticeship, if you want to go back to the fucking kings and queens days, you lived in the castle and you fucking had an apprenticeship in the ironworkers. But now I learn. Now I'm like, you know what? This other guy saw me and he's like, yo, I'll pay you $10 an hour. I might be like, well, I want to go over there now. You're gonna be like, no, right? Now he has leverage. I'd have leverage on you. If I was gonna leave, you're like, well, now I don't want this. I learned enough because I got to a point where I was taught by this person. I'm gonna go do my own DJing. Or, right? That's why this is a great book, man, I read. Is Spanish labor, the workforce of Mexico and the culture are the best workers. Asians used to be the worst workers in this country when they would farm, because they would farm and then they would save their money and then they'd go get their own farm. So they're shitty workers because you'd lose them. Great workers, but shitty in the aspect they didn't come back after 3 seasons. They're gone. Now they're the competitors, right? Spanish workforce come, work, and still to this day, though, from the 1800s to this day, it's still like that they would fucking come, they work, and then they go, like, out when the season's over, and they party. Woo! They live it up. They fucking throw down.
They're having that fun.
Who's right or wrong? Right? They're fucking laughing and having fun, and you have other people who are rigid, so it's all fucking relative, dude. You don't need to have a lot of them. I know people that are poor as fuck. They get a welfare, $80 every 2 weeks, right? They got $200 in food stamps. They have a fucking house provided for the government, shitty ass house, right? Provided for the government, and then they get maybe a check because they faked the fucking hip dislocation, so they got disability that you had to really work your ass off to get. You got to go to so many appointments and fake shit.
I worked for a lawyer who handled those cases.
People did it, right? So they got that, and then maybe they sell 99-cent socks in fucking Times Square. Okay, that's what they got right there, and then the little hustles that they try to do off the cash, and they are fucking happy as fuck.
They're happy, but now they're
happy as
more.
Fuck. It's sad. That to me is sad.
Okay,
though, because that's being taught. That's being taught as a way of life.
And that unknowingly is still affecting your business because your taxes now going to that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I think that's kind of. I think that's where we're just like we see eye to eye.
But that's where it goes to stop anarchy, because if you have a big society, now watch my island again. We go back to the island. If you have one of those guys, now you have 4 of those. You give them nothing. He's gonna get hungry. He's gonna steal your shit. Because he's going to be like, I'm fucking hungry. Now he's going to get to the point where I got to eat. I'm starving. What are they going to do? A starving man will steal. Or come to the point like a caged animal in a corner.
You got to keep yourself alive. Like, that's an instinct to keep yourself alive.
So now he's going to resort to, I'll fucking just stab. Fuck those guys over there at that party. They're not giving me any of that shit. I'm just going to take it. Or he could be very big, right? Muscular, which can just call that today guns and fucking weapons today. But, you know what I'm saying? He's big. He's like, I'm going to just fucking take it. And now he's going to come up and try to rob your fucking pineapple, steal your shit, right? Right or wrong? That's the same shit today.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a possibility.
To keep him out, we're all going to sit at our fucking cupboard like, dude, let's just get him some shit. Now, if we were real shrewd, we'd be like, dude, you fucking make alcohol, you got drugs, just give him that shit, dude. That keeps him fucking quiet and content over there. Because there's 10 of them, and there's 20 of us, right? Or there's 100 of us, there's 20 of them. But that's still a lot. They could fucking ruin our party, right? So what are you going to do to them? You're going to give them fucking, all right, we'll allot 10% of our shit, right? And we'll just give it to them. Fuck it, we don't even care. 10% is nothing, right, guys? Yeah, it's fine. We can absorb that loss. Just leave them the fuck over there so they're not sneaking in our tents at night. Right or wrong? That's all it is, dude. That's fucking... It's so simple, it's ridiculous.
It is simple, and, like, I agree with... I always try to break down to everything to the simplest thing, because you can usually find the answers in that, right? But now we have it into a case where we're already... Like, obviously, we grew up when there was already 300 million people in the country, you know? So we didn't get the start on the island. We weren't like on the Mayflower and the first few people over here.
No, but it's
not discounting the Native
Americans. It's still here. You still got to find a job or an avenue to go into.
And my only argument is, again, not for the people that don't do shit. Like, I'm with you on that. No, fuck you. You're not doing shit. I'm not giving you shit, and that's
no. But we do.
That.
But we do in this country. We voted in.
And I think
to keep.
And my argument is that if there's a livable wage type thing, then that decreases the amount that we would be putting into those services and the amount of those services that get used. Because you have to qualify for them too. So now if you're at a livable wage, you wouldn't even qualify for most of them, is what I'm saying.
Well, they have that is in place. There's poverty levels that people voted on, right?
And they can be adjusted. You know what I'm saying?
But how much? Well, let's make it 50,000. That's all this is going to do is you're just going to raise the rents of everything else.
Well, it's always different, but it's weird when you talk about just what flat rate amount, because 50,000 in New York City might suck balls, but 50,000 in Montana, you could be living like a king. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So
it's not poverty there.
But that's why a free market will always adjust and find itself. It'll always be dictated by the people. I'm a free market guy, man.
I am too. I'm definitely am to an extent, because we talked about it a little, so we won't get back into it. I feel like it needs some checks and balances like anything else.
But it does. It does. The market, that's what it is. The fish guy will talk to the guy that's talking about houses, and you'll be like, well...
I guess I kind of mean when it comes to more like environmental issues and stuff, they don't check themselves.
What?
You know, as far as...
Yeah, well, that's... that's
the free market capitalism is like, all right, we just have to make money.
That's where the people need to come. If we're destroying the environment, yes, that's something. Of course. Yes, of course.
So that was fun.
It was. I gotta find... I can't believe... He's not coming to my name right now, but I was reading on this guy and listening to him, and everything he fucking said was brilliant. So I just deferred to this guy. I'll have to.
Well, that's and I guess it actually goes back to what we talked about, just that 1% movie and stuff like that, and all of this as well. It ties in, you know, everything ties in. Especially now we're so interconnected that little changes could change everything for the better of everybody. And again, I'm not talking about taking care of the person who's just refusing to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually talking about it making it harder for that person to make it, like to get that benefits and stuff, you know?
Well,
in a way.
It just needs to be restructured with more, just more, it has to be smarter. But if you put it in a group of people's hands and the government, it's gonna fall apart. If all 100 people in this island, they got the 20 over there, we're gonna all be like, let's do this. You're not gonna be like, did we check on that thing? Is that working properly?
You're not gonna care about those.
Where's the motivation for the 100 people to just give your shit or vote on things? You're like, I don't know, I'm good. So now, if you running a business, that's why for-profit shit is great, not for prisons, but fucking for other things it is, because now you're on top of it, right?
And even to an extent, like, and then, yes, it's good for certain things, without a doubt.
Like a privatized school. Think about that. Mm-hmm. That fucking works. Private schools, some of them do great because they'll fire your fucking ass if you're not doing a great job.
But now
I'm collecting $20,000 per student, right, to come to my school. They're gonna pay that. I want to give the best education so that I keep getting these people in so I can make money. So I'm be like, yo, you're not doing a good teaching job. You're the fuck out. I want somebody else better.
Knowing people that are teachers. There are differences, but a lot of private schools generally pay less than some public schools, and also now there's a barrier for people to be educated. because you have to pay X amount to get someone into school. So if all schools were privatized, in the long run, that's going to probably be detrimental to society.
Not all schools should be privatized. But just like you have private schools, you should have the free too. But not every teacher is worthy. Not every teacher is a fucking gem of a teacher.
No, without a doubt.
I know some shit-ass teachers are always complaining about, "Gang, want $1 million a year." And you're a fucking drunk that was just sucking 8 cocks in the bar. You're fucking kidding me? You go in there hammered, and you're talking about you deserve.
I feel like this is somebody you know. Like this.
I know a bunch of them. All the fucking Queens teachers are a bunch of sluts. Are you fucking serious?
Hey, wait a minute. My girlfriend teaches in Queens.
No.
Hey.
What's her name?
Hey.
All right, but, not all. But 87%, dude. That I fucking know.
She doesn't live in Queens, so does that?
Yeah.
No. Does that make her not a Queens teacher then?
Yeah, she's fine.
All right.
that live there and hang out and drink in the bars, so they're fucking 25 and they're fucking. Come on, man. So they deserve that. They deserve fucking $87 million a year.
Well, you can make the argument again if you're a good teacher and you're actually getting results in your students that they should be paid more than fucking NFL star because they're directly responsible for.
No, because people don't pay to go see that.
No, I know, and that's why it doesn't work. Exactly. No one's gonna. It doesn't bring in a bunch of money.
Right.
You know?
People pay to go watch that guy stand on his head and gesture. They're like throwing fish at him. You're giving him alcohol. This is great. You're giving him all your shit because do more of that. Now the woman is over there teaching the kid how to fucking make a fish. You're like, that's all right.
It's like, but at some point you're gonna need more fish. If this fish guy dies, shit's gonna be fucked up for us. We'll have shelter, but we're gonna have no goddamn fish. Yeah, you're not gonna last as long.
Then they'll be like, well, it's not that hard to cut it open and throw it on a pan.
No, to catch it, you gotta catch it though. That's the hard part.
Fishermen make good money.
If you're not teaching that.
Fishermen, people that go get food, make pretty good money. I don't have to say, right? I would have been a fisherman. It's a hard job though.
It is.
Think about it. You watch fish catch. They go to make fucking 300,000, and you're like, damn, right? You're like, you make him want to go fucking. But go to Alaska.
But you could also die. And that's what it is. It's like
you
get paid a lot to be in the NFL. You could get a concussion. You could fuck up the latter years of your life. You could go catch crabs, not the STD, and make a bunch of money. But you might die in the process.
Right.
So there's the trade-off.
Which makes it kind of expensive, but not everybody wants to eat it, right? Because now you got pork or chicken. You're like, I got.
You get what you can afford. You can't go to Red Lobster all the time.
No, I could never go. I can't get this fucking guys. Dude, I can't believe this shit, man. This is fucking crazy. I'm supposed to know this, but I don't talk economics.
Wow.
I don't talk economics, bro. I don't talk. That made me sound really smart right there.
There are a lot of good ones on Netflix that you might enjoy. I'm gonna have to find again.
Milton Friedman, bro. Milton Friedman. Check out Milton Friedman.
Name sounds familiar.
One of the best ever that could break down the fucking complexities into where you're like, wow, this is actually enjoyable to listen to.
Shit.
That's all I'll leave you with. Milton Friedman. If you want to learn economics, dude, by fucking the most brilliant man, I believe, that just had it nailed, common sense economics is Milton Friedman, dude. He was the fucking man. Check him out. Milton Friedman, everybody. Milton Friedman. I gotta pee, dude. I gotta urinate.
Damn, how do I fucking find this shit? Help center. Because I want to actually find, what the hell. I used this last time and now I can't fucking find it. About what I actually saw already. Could have sworn it was fucking in this thing. But anyway, there's a bunch of good shit on Netflix.
Look on YouTube from Trust me, you'll be like, wow, he drops it. He just makes it to where you're like, well, it's fucking brilliant. I'm about common sense.
The 1% was a good one. I definitely.
I can't watch that because I get annoyed. I can't watch any of these things anymore because.
No, yeah,
infuriating. I live all sides of it, and I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck. If you want to live on welfare and take the table scraps, have it, man. That's your life. That's a sad life. I don't want that life.
But you just said people like that. They're having fun. So it's cool for them. It works for them.
But if that's what they want, that's really that's your fun, dude. To wait for that $80 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But who am I to judge? Who the fuck? You want to live that? You want to take? Those are the scraps of fucking life. When you're in a country that gives you the opportunity to invent an app, do something, be creative, sell something, learn something, add value to society, bring something and add something on top of everything that's been here. That's why it's grown to be so much. That's why you have an app for free birds that people will give you entertainment dollars or crazy money here. But it's also going to fucking hit a point. When there's too many people straining on the economy, it will hit a point. Trust me.
Yeah. That's why I think
you can't have rich people. It all needs to be equal. The shit doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that either. Again, like I said, I don't think is for everyone to be at the same level, and that's what it should be.
Communism, socialism doesn't fucking work. Why do we keep going through fucking stupid fucking things again and again and arguing when shit has already been proven it doesn't work?
I think you have to take pieces of them. You gotta use what does work and make more of a hybrid and stuff. Because there are socialist things like, I mean, you like driving on roads, right? Like a lot of that is from socialism, you know. Public schools, the mail started that way, you know.
Correct.
Like, so there are things that it has its pluses to. You just have to use the
post
pluses
office
of
is
all.
Gone.
Just, I mean, it's not gone. It's still there.
It's bankrupt.
But it loses. Yeah.
So why is it still here?
Crazy money.
Why is it still there then?
I guess people have to get letters, man. I don't know. Not everyone's hip to email.
You can go to FedEx. You can go to other things. You could, you know.
Do they? But
yeah,
can you just a regular letter?
Yeah,
can you?
Yeah.
Because I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not sure.
But why are they in business and thriving? Because they're for profit. They're not usually a bloated bullshit. The government could have been that way if it was more efficient. The government is so inefficient. So the bigger it gets, the more there's corruption anyway. Just and lost dollars.
That's the biggest problem in it. In a
everyone
nutshell,
has a government job.
In a nutshell, that's the biggest problem with it.
And then it starts doing government jobs. We're going so close to fucking social. You got to watch. I could never even come close to Milton Friedman. How he talks about all of it and breaks it down better than anybody else that's ever done it. He's known for that. He's like a layman's. He's the most fucking. I think he solved it all, and he just talks about history, facts, not bullshit, just straight up facts.
Oh right, I actually found it on fucking Man. And God knows how long ago they were. It's so stupid. I said this before. When you watch a TV show, every single episode comes up as activity.
Right.
So now if you watch like 3 seasons or something, every single fucking episode is in there. So
Dude,
you have to like.
I do have to run though, man.
Yeah, I just want to throw these in there real quick for like.
I gotta be in the city.
Other people to check out and stuff, if I can find it. You know what? I'm gonna fucking pause this then. Plug anything that you're doing, where they can see you doing comedy, stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Come to Fast Times at the Laughing Devil. Come out there. It's fun. Josh was there last night. You had fun.
Tell people where it is and stuff.
Yeah, it's Vernon Boulevard, Long Island City, the Laughing Devil. Check it out, laughingdevil.com. I'm Steve Marden, Marden. You can check out stevemarden.net for information, new website. I haven't shown it to anybody yet, but I couldn't get the .com. I was pissed. Steve Madden owns the .com, and I can't get it.
Steve Marden?
Yeah. Because, like, it's a misspelling for Madden. I'm fucking pissed. He's a cocksucking fucking prick.
You're never going to get that.
Even though I like him because he's a tax evader, but... He evades taxes. He's like, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. But I'm probably never going to get that domain until... I got to find a way, because I think you're allowed to have your own name. Somebody can't just lock up your name or something, I think.
Well, no, I think they probably can in certain aspects. And you can also do a dot something else. Even though .com is the most important.
I have .net. I got .net. I'll get it from them. I'll fucking just get famous enough. Like, yo, Madden, get the fuck over here.
Because think about it. 2 people can have the same name. That's what Joe Rogan did that. That's why his is .net. Because
Joe Rogan.net?
Some real estate dude, I think, or attorney had .com for his business.
All right, so I don't feel... If Joe Rogan can settle with .net and live with it, then I live with .net as well. Fuck it. .net. But, yeah, man, come out, have fun, comedy. I don't talk politics in comedy, so if you hated me for everything I just said now, and you're like, you fucking right-wing, fucking slanting bastard, I'm down the middle, man. I'm all about common sense politics. So don't judge me on it. I don't talk about politics in my comedy.
And also, it seems like at least, like you said, you have the ability, if someone makes a convincing argument with the right facts and information, that you would change your opinion if it felt.
If it's common sense,
and that's what's important, you know, because not everyone's going to be right, not everyone's going to be wrong, and as I said before, you might have really good points and good pluses that, all right, let's use those pluses and mix it with these pluses.
Of course.
And let's just come up with something that might be better.
When I break out my island book, you'll see what's up, because think about it, it's all just basic shit. If all 10 of us sat down, we're like, dude, we can all chip in and pay that guy to make roads. Want to do it? Right?
So
or we'll all make roads together, and now that just created a job. But you see, then it gets more and more. I can go on all day how it expands out, but if you have 10 guys, you're like, dude, we're all in sand. Let's make a road. You know what I mean? All right, but we're all going to use it. Yeah, you're right. So let's all chip in. Now this guy might be like, I ain't chipping in. We're like, fuck that. Now we're going to just take a little piece of your shit, because we have the military now. We're also the military. Get what I'm saying?
So real quick, some of those ones that you can check out. Freakonomics is pretty good. Let's see some of these other names if I can. The Flaw, the 1%, We're Not Broke. Walmart, The High Cost of Low Price. Even stuff like Food Inc. can tie into that shit.
Zeitgeist, the movie. Are you going crazy over there? Those I liked it. I enjoyed it. Every time I watch shit like that, I get nuts. I'm like,
it's weird, yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I've heard some of the debunk stuff on it, but it still has some good points in it. The religion stuff is real good because
it's too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
Makes me start thinking, I don't want to know. Let me just go do comedy.
Right. So there's a lot of good ones out there, and then when you start watching them, they're fucking it'll pop up with some other suggestions that are pretty good. So whatever, check all that shit out. Thanks for watching. Not watching. Thank God you can't watch this.
Hey, you don't want to, the glare on my head is a little out of control. I had fun though. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yo, without a doubt, anytime. I'm glad this went pretty well. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to not carry it, but you know, when you have a co-host or something, people play off each other and this and that. And, you know, it's kind of like that fear of standing up in front of an audience. It's like, just put yourself into it, and you'll get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Get a little crazy.
You surprise yourself,
They get me all worked up. No!
No
to welfare! Fuck them! Fuck
those lazy
shit.
Pieces of shit.
Fuck no. Fraudulent. You know who's worse in the whole system, though? I know that? Is the fucking doctors and all that shit around it. They're bleeding the system more than anybody that's really, like, just kind of taking their little $80 every 2 weeks. It's the businesses around it are taking it.
And that's unchecked capitalism. Like, well,
no, it's not. That's
sometimes in the healthcare.
It's unchecked. Why does it cost? It's unchecked social fucking the way you get paid. Medicaid is so corrupt. You have no fucking idea.
So that's
company
why
that was for profit would never allow that. They'd be on their spreadsheets and be like, what the fuck is that? We're not paying this guy $700 to fucking wash his
water
teeth.
Bag.
Are you fucking serious? The person that allowed that would be fired instantaneously. So that happens when you got government, it gets too big, which I don't give a fuck, because I'm an ex-criminal. You want to let this fucking government go to socialism and keep going like that?
It's cool. I'll go back to stealing shit. I don't give a fuck.
You're going to have mad fucking black market. That's all it'll be.
Yeah.
It already proved itself. History is your greatest teacher. It always will be.
And
I never need to learn another thing. I just got to go back in history.
I'm a huge advocate of that as well. We've talked about that before. It's all that shit, and just even with trends and fashion being cyclic and stuff like that. So it's all it is. It's history repeating itself.
You know, all you got to do is find the right blend, like you were saying, little hybrids of things. That was probably the best thing. You just got to be like, well, take a little of this and let's try that this time. 10% of this. Oh, that works nice. Let's keep it.
And breaking it down to those simple things. So, like, you break it down to just history.
Dude,
you know, check it out,
man.
and you'll know what's going on and how to deal with it.
Simple shit, man.
Thank you for coming. Definitely enjoyed it. You told everyone where they could check you out.
Yeah.
You can check this out everywhere. It's on iTunes, OnTrack with DJ Tracktion. Obviously, if you're listening, you have found it in some way. So that's really cool. You can check out all the other stuff at djtracktion.com, at DJ Tracktion for Twitter, Private Event Entertainment, visualsoundsli.com. Shout out to Frankie K, frankiek.com for clothing. And my dude Jay also. Don't believe the propaganda. I like his spin on his clothing line, so check that out as well. And these aren't paid advertisements. These aren't ads. No, I don't make no money doing this shit. It's just people that, again, I admire people trying to do their own thing. So, and they're doing it in a way that I like. I like the products and the stuff that they're doing. So go check that shit out. And until next time, I'll see you. So, peace the fuck out.